Oh yeah, chat. We are so back. Let's go. We are so back. Let's go, chat. Use the BridgeMind MCP and review the to-do tasks and complete a task that is still in the to-do list. All right, chat. All right, let's turn the music down. Hold up here. All right, let's turn it down. Let's turn it down. All right, I just turned the music down. What's up, guys? It's good to be back. How's it going? Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. Let me turn down the music because I got a couple things to say. So we are back. Welcome back to the stream. I've been off for a couple days, so we are so back, guys. I did have technical difficulties at my place in Florida. So as you guys know, it was our original plan for us to do the Vibeathon and to go from Florida and to stream for 12 hours a day. But I ended up having technical difficulties in Florida. So I had to kind of reshape the trip. I mean, I was literally supposed to be there for like 2 weeks. And I had to decide, hey, I can't stream here because literally on the first day, the stream crashed like 6 hours into the stream. And then I couldn't get it back up because of technical reasons. But with that being said, I decided to cut the trip short so I could get back to the BridgeMind HQ. And we're back. We're back. And I'm happy to be back, guys. I've got so much to show you. So let me just like kind of turn on some chill music and I'm going to show you guys what I've been working on. But give me 1 second here. What's up? Let me pull up the chat. All right, let's get the chill music on. All right, hold on. Let's get, let me pull the chat up. All right. All right. Welcome back, guys. What's up? What's up? All right. Oh, look who it is. Linux, how's it going? Max, how's it going? Yeah, we are so back. Let's go. All right, so give me 1 second. I need to do a couple things on my end, but I'm going to give you guys a demo of what I've been working on and then a couple things of just like to talk about what the plan is and what we're going to do to move forward. Give me 1 second, though, just so I can update the thumbnail here and just get everything on my end settled in, and then we'll get started. So just give me a second here, guys. But yeah, so check this out. So I'm right now I'm using OpenCode. So you guys are seeing me use OpenCode. And I was able to get, so I knew like once I had technical difficulties down in Florida, I knew, okay, I'm gonna have to get back to BridgeMind HQ. But with that being said, I was able to have like 1 day down in Florida to enjoy just the weather. And, but I don't really need a vacation, if you guys know what I mean. What I need is, I need to be able to move forward, make progress. And that's what we're doing today. So, you know, you guys can see that right now I'm actually using a new product. I've been building this for basically like just the past couple days. So this is a vibe coding tool that is going to replace Warp in my workflow. Now, you guys can kind of see it here. Okay, I just updated. I'm going to ping the Discord, but you guys can see I'm using OpenCode. And what we're using is this BridgeMind system. So you guys can see here that I have this task board. And what I'm able to do is I'm able to use the BridgeMind MCP, which is on our goal list today. We're going to be working on it today, but I'm going to show you guys how it works. You guys have kind of missed that because the stream issues, but I'm very, very excited to make progress on this. As you guys see, it's working very well. Each of these OpenCode agents is actually working on a specific task. So hold on here. All right, let's go. All right, let's move the desk down. Let's get into it. I just pinged the Discord. Let's get back to grind. Let me pull up the chat and we'll get into it. All right, let's go. All right, I just pulled up chat. So I'm just testing it. I'm testing Pistol. I'm testing it. It's pretty good. You know, I will say that like, hey, it's got GLM 4.7 natively, which is nice. But one thing to note is, you know, this model, like at least on the frontier, it's actually not as good. Tamphian said switch to Minimax. Okay. All right, let me launch another terminal here. We'll just launch another terminal. And there's a lot that we're going to be working on because as you guys can see, I'm actually using a project that I've started. You guys can see that I have the workspaces up here. here's my open code workspace, but we'll get into that in a second. Let's go to models and let's switch over to Minimax. And then I'm just gonna give it the same prompt. So this is very, very easy. So let's just pull up Whisper Flow. And here we go. So I can just launch this. And so that's Minimax M2.1. Timeless, how's it going? The Action Gaming said, this guy is AI's father. I appreciate it, man. Let's go. Excuse me, guys. Jesse Pinkman, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Max, there was a storm. What are the workspaces for? So yeah, so these workspaces are for different workspaces that I have set up. So this one here, for example, is open code. This one is also open code. This one I was working with Claude Code, and something really cool that I want to show you guys. So basically, I had it look at this, and I said, hey, I basically need you to find some security vulnerabilities, and then I need you to create tasks based on those security vulnerabilities that you find. And what we're doing is we've now built a system. Let me go over to the BridgeMind project. This is very new, and a lot is going to be done with this. I have a lot of ideas associated with it, but look at this, guys. So I do have View Creator in here as a project. We don't have any to-do lists on there, but let's just pull this up. Hold on, the API did just crash. Hold on, let's pull this up real quick. So where is that workspace on? I actually think that it's over in Warp, because I was using Warp as well. So we're gonna have to do a couple different things. So I have Warp pulled up, and then I also have BridgeMind pulled up. And with BridgeMind, what we're gonna be able to do is we can launch these workspaces, but there's one thing to note is that while we're actually working with it, we're gonna have to work with Warp, because when we're updating this Electron project, it is going to be updating that as well. But also, it's good to see you guys. If you guys missed the start of the stream, we are so back. I had technical difficulties in Florida, so literally the first day the stream crashed like 6 hours into the stream, and I wasn't able to even start the stream or stream from Florida. So I was planning on staying there for 2 weeks, but because the technical difficulties, I literally could not stream. There was like construction going on at the place that I was at, so it wasn't gonna work out. So I decided to cut the trip early, get back to BridgeMind HQ. We're gonna reschedule the Vibeathon. I'll have more details coming shortly, but you know, it's all about adaptability. Sometimes you have to be able to just like change your plans a little bit if things arise that you can't control, right? So with that being said, you know, that's enough said on that. If you guys have questions, I'm happy to answer them, but yeah, we're back to it. But this is a really exciting project that we're going to be working on. Yeah, so what app are you building? I'm new here. So so as you guys know, with the Vibeathon, what the plan was, and it still is, we're just going to reschedule it. We're going to figure that out. I haven't really come to a decision on what I want to do with that yet. So just like kind of, I'll ping the Discord and stuff. But look at what I've been working on, guys. So I have now built a vibe coding tool, and I'm able to reverse engineer some of the workflows that I have and be able to create a product where you can work in these workspaces just as you would. But we also, if we go here, we now are managing different, like basically tasks that can be done, right? So what happens, and you guys are going to see me build this out. I only worked on it for, I don't know, I worked on it while I was in Florida, and then I worked on it because I had to travel. I mean, I had to drive for like 12 hours. It was terrible, but I had to drive 12 hours, like full days of driving, like very close back to back. But we did it. We made it through. So I appreciate you guys for bearing with me. I know I wasn't even, I think that's the longest I've gone without streaming this week. So appreciate you guys for the support and understanding there. But what we can do now is I have these to-dos, right? And in the last stream on day 114, if you guys were watching, it was like very early on, so you guys were just seeing me like start to create it. But I want to show you guys, like, let me pull up cursor here and show you guys what the actual project architecture of this project actually is. So here it is. And so what we have here is we have a BridgeMind MCP, okay? And this MCP here has tools in it that allow us to be able to connect with this system, right? So we have project tools, task tools, agent tools, and we're gonna keep this very, very simple. I think if there's anything that we learned from the projects that we've done to date, is that, hey, if you can make it so that your scope is very small, like what you need to actually build is very small and understandable, that's actually gonna do better in the long run than if you have like all of these features and you can't really pinpoint one thing of like, hey, this is what this product does. I think that's one thing that I've learned personally that needs to be highlighted a little bit, is that, hey, what we want to do now is we're building a vibe coding tool, an agentic coding tool that actually enhances vibe coders and agentic coders. And the main premise is that I can go over, and I'm going to show this to you guys. So I'm going to pull up Warp here, and I'm gonna pull up Claude Code, okay? So I'm gonna pull up, right now I'm in the Electron project, and I'll talk about that a little bit. I've got to catch you guys up quite a bit since I've been off, but so check this out. So I'm in BridgeMind, right? And I'm just gonna launch, let's say, the BridgeMind API, and I think that there was like some issues running that service, or is it now gone? Hold on, let's pull this up. So I guess it's working again. So it was an error, but now it's fixed. Let me see chat here. Yeah, Han said that was my first mistake, feature hell. Yeah, I think you just want to be very, like, mindful that, hey, if you don't need a ton of features, because, hey, the more features that you create, the more that you have, you know, feature creep, and you create all these things, which can be good in a lot of ways, but the problem is that if you create too much, can you really do that good of a job of telling people, hey, this is the product and here is, you know, how it works, right? So here is BridgeMind. We're using it right now, but we are going to be developing it. So one thing to kind of note is that we're going to use Warp, because this is going to be this BridgeMind project. This is an Electron app, okay? Do you guys see this? This is an Electron app here. And what I can do is I can just go back to my workspaces here, or I can go back here, okay? And it's very, very simple. So one thing I can even say here is that I'm gonna do a screenshot here, okay? And I want you guys to watch this because it is pretty cool. So I'm gonna use Warp for this because once we submit a prompt, this is gonna refresh. So I'm just gonna drop this in. I'm gonna drop that screenshot, and you guys can listen to this prompt here. But give me 1 second. All right. I want you to review the task board screen and I'm gonna drop in the BridgeMind Electron app, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, right now, when I switch to a project, I can review that project, but then if I click off of this screen and go to another screen and then click back to that screen, it refreshes to the top project. Could you integrate some sort of state management that makes it so that once I've selected a specific project, that it stays on that project until I switch it? All right, very simple. So that's gonna change. That's gonna update. All right, we're gonna do push-ups every 50 push-ups. I'm gonna hit a 50. So right now we're at 45. So once we get to 50, I'm gonna drop a 50 bomb. And yeah, for every like that we get, I'm gonna do +1 push-ups today. So, all right, do you use the Claude Max plan, and Max plan is enough for you? That's what all that. Relayed Design just asked. Yeah, so I use Claude Max. I've got the 20x plan, and I have to say it is a very, very good plan. Like, I just get a ton of usage out of the Claude Max plan. This is actually kind of news. I did remove my Cursor Ultra plan. I actually scaled my Cursor Ultra back to, what was it? I think I did the $60 plan. So, and then also with ChatGPT Pro, I was able to move my ChatGPT Pro plan to the ChatGPT Plus plan. And that's one thing that I'm just kind of like highlighting, because like a lot of people, they talk about, you know, AI usage and they say, you know, it's so expensive. But the thing is that I think that AI is actually going to get cheaper. And this is like just an example of it right now, is that, hey, I only need the Claude 20x plan unless I'm running like 30 agents simultaneously all the time. I'm not going to need to have, you know, multiple plans anymore. Like before, it used to be, hey, you have Cursor Ultra. Cursor Ultra doesn't get you a ton, but it does get you enough to where, hey, you can use like, you know, you can use it for about half the month, and then I have to switch over to like Claude Code or Codex. But now I can just use Claude Code and only spend $200 a month if I wanted to. So I'm scaling back that ChatGPT Pro plan to a Plus plan, and I'm also scaling back my Cursor Ultra plan to a Cursor, whatever it's called. It's like Team or something, maybe Plus. I don't even know what it's called, but it's the $60 plan. So I'm saving a decent amount of money. But so something I want to show you guys now is, okay, so let's go over here, right? So these are my tasks, okay? And what I want to do now is, like, if I open up one of these tasks, so right now what we have and how we have this set up is it's set up as instructions, okay? So this is very early on, and I do have a vision for this, okay? We're gonna reverse engineer everything that we've learned about vibe coding and what we know about what actually, like, what matters when vibe coding, what matters when doing agentic coding, and how do you get a better result. Karen, I already addressed the Vibeathon. It's going to get rescheduled. You can check the description below for information on that. But yeah, we ran into technical difficulties in Florida, and we're going to have to reschedule that event. All good. I've had a little bit of a hectic week, to be honest with you guys, just because of all the driving. And I mean, you guys can, like, I mean, I literally was driving 10 hours a day for 2 days in a row. Okay, this is another issue that I've found with this project, is that, like, for example, sometimes I click away from it, okay? And when I come back, for some reason, it's like all cleared. I don't know what is happening there. I want you to review the screenshot of the agent. Not of the agent. I want you to review the screenshot. Sometimes when I am switching back and forth between workspaces or around the Electron app, sometimes the terminals will just clear out and I have no idea what is causing this. I need you to launch 5 agents to review the Electron app and pinpoint exactly why this is happening. Yeah, so DevOps is just like, hey, anything related to your actual cloud infrastructure where, for example, like, hey, once you get to deployment, a lot of people, it's like, hey, developing locally is one thing, and actually getting things working in production and making it so that other people can use your product is a completely different thing. So hold on here. So one thing before I do that, what I'm going to do is I am going to... Hold on, let's drop another screenshot in here. So the issue that I'm having right now is that, so we have this BridgeMind Electron app, okay? And as you guys see here, I can create different workspaces to be able to launch different agents as I see fit. But one of the biggest things about this is we now have a BridgeMind MCP server, which this is just being developed. You guys are seeing this in development right now. But what you guys are seeing is that you are seeing what I was working on while I was in Florida and I was having technical difficulties. This was my vision all along. But you can see here I have a bunch of open code terminals up, right? And I can go over here and I can now create to-dos and tasks based off of what the agents are working on. What's really cool, and we're going to improve this, but right now it just has instructions, right? So what I'm doing is I'm basically modulating particular parts of the agentic workflow, right? So the first part is planning and task creation. So instead of me just giving a prompt and it going and immediately creating it, I found that I will actually get a better result if I give a prompt and I have it create a task based off of my prompt, and then that task ends up getting handed off to another agent. So you can see here that right now it's very simple. We just have instructions. This is going to change. We're going to make this better. This is like very early on, but this is what it looks like. So let's go back over to this issue that we're having, which is for some reason the state management of these terminals is getting like reset or something, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to drop this in, and I'm going to say, I need you to create tasks using the BridgeMind MCP in my BridgeMind project, and I want you to create tasks associated with getting to the bottom of what is causing this and fixing this error. So what this is going to be able to do is this is going to be able to interact with the BridgeMind MCP that I've created, and it's going to be able to first review the code, actually understand what it's doing, and then instead of it just, going and like fixing it right away, and then it potentially not doing what is actually needed and not fixing my issue, instead, what's going to happen is it's going to be able to review the code and create a task with what needs to be fixed so that I don't end up getting to the end of my context window and I have to reset the context. Instead, it's going to create subtasks that are able to be passed off to different agents. So we'll improve this along the way. We're going to add documentation, different agentic knowledge, but right now it's very simple. If I pull up BridgeMind here, you guys can see that we are dealing with basically these to-do lists. So you can see here that I had an agent that was able to review my API and come back with a bunch of different tasks for API security, right? So I said, hey, go review the API, then create tasks in order to actually improve the security of my API, and I create a bunch of tasks there. What do I think about GLM 4.7 and open code compared with Sonnet 4.5 and Minimax M2.1? I mean, the thing about that is GLM 4.7, I mean, you can just look at the arena, right? I mean, if we pull up LM Arena, you're going to be able to identify like pretty quickly how those models are actually performing. So let's pull up LM Arena here. And what I want to do is let's go pull up LM Arena, and if we just pull this up, right, like, hey, Claude Opus 4.5 is still way ahead. GPT 5.2 is up there, but there are trade-offs with GPT 5.2 where, for example, it's just incredibly, incredibly slow. So that's one very important thing to note there. Opus 4.5, definitely at the top of the list. Gemini 3 Pro is up there. Minimax M2.1 is also up there. GLM 4.7 is up there, but like there are other factors other than just how they do on the leaderboards. Like one thing to consider is always like speed at this point is very important. So if we pull up, GLM 4.7, let's look at the speed. So you're looking at like less than 40 tokens per second on GLM 4.7. If you pull up Minimax M2.1, then this one is actually a little bit faster. On some of these providers, you can see it gets up as high as 100 tokens per second. That just maybe right now, but like average is probably around like 50 for Minimax M2.1. But then like let's look at Opus 4.5 because this is important. I mean, right now it's actually kind of low, only 30. So that's actually not doing very well. I've seen it as high as 60 or 80 before, though, so that's one thing to know. Okay, Super Combo said, did you make an MCP for the apps? apps so Claude Code can see your Kanban board and tasks and move them as they finish them, etc. Yeah, so there's an MCP for it. I'll show it to you right now. So we have an MCP, and the MCP is actually very simple. So you have tasks, projects, agents, and this is our MCP server. Very simple. Once you actually set that up, I mean, MCPs are pretty simple to build. We were able to do that pretty quickly in the last stream, but then we had the technical difficulties in Florida, and we had to kind of reschedule some things and move things around, but we're back to it, and I did get this up and running so that we can at least, you know, get started. So let's refresh this. Okay, so we now have a couple to-do lists that are added. So you can see add terminal buffer persistent tests, fix terminal state persistence on workspace switch, and then investigate terminal clearing bug on workspace switch. Okay, so one thing that I do want to do, oh wow, Dan said that GLM just hit 1,000 tokens per second on Cerebra. It's kind of wild. That is very, very fast. Wow. Last Centennial said this is potentially a very good tool. I always do that manually. You are automating. That is pretty cool. Thank you, man. Yeah, so I think that, you know, where we're at is like, hey, we've built the View Creator virality engine, and, you know, we're getting a consistent revenue stream from View Creator now. It's not crazy, but I mean, we are over 1,000 MRR. We're going to continue to, you know, work forward on that product. But I think that what we have here is that, hey, at the end of the day, if we can create a tool that improves our workflow, we're going to be able to operate much more efficiently, because like when you bring it back to agent orchestration, if we can continue to modulate what's needed for the human that's orchestrating all the agents, that's going to be better. So you can see that we did get, you know, 3 to-dos here. And what I'm going to be able to do now is I want to go back over to Warp, and I'm going to say, now I want you to complete these tasks one at a time. And I'm also now going to do an ultra thing on this. Fix this issue that I am having. So one thing that I do want to do is, like, if I pull up BridgeMind here, the workspaces are good. So I made it so that, you know, when you launch a new workspace, you just name the workspace and then you also color it. We want to keep things like very, very simple. Like we have the ability to change themes and stuff, like very, very basic stuff, right? We'll make it better. I do like this forest one, is kind of cool. I like forest. But, you know, one problem that we're having right now is the terminal states are having issues where, for example, like, do you guys see how, so this is how it works. So this one is now, it's working with the MCP, right? And it's able to actually take that task and work through it systematically. Now, the one thing that I will say about this is that we're going to be able to make this significantly better, because right now, literally all we have is we have these tasks, right? And you can see that the tasks, all that's in it is just instructions, right? So for example, you're able to modulate the creation process in the vibe coding process, because instead of you telling an agent what to do and then it directly starting to work on it until it's like completed, we're able to modulate that a little bit better, because the way that I see it is you're able to first focus on task creation, and then you're able to start a fresh agent, almost like with a prompt engineered system prompt with that task, right? So here are the instructions for this task. And this is just like very like one shot very early on. We're going to add additional things to this. For example, we're going to be able to add in things like an agent reviewer. So you can see that these tasks are in review here. And right now we just have this instructions field, right? But I want to add in additional things such as like knowledge could be one, where, for example, you could have a task, right? And the task could be worked on by multiple agents, and instead of the agent like just looking at the instructions and then doing it, you could potentially hand it off to multiple different agents that, instead of even doing any coding right away, it's able to like build up a knowledge base or documentation pertaining to that specific task. So right now, like, we're very early on, it's just instructions, but you guys can kind of see the system that we're creating, and it'll evolve, but this is just very early on. This is what it looks like. Terminal states are a pain. I think we'll yeah, like this one, see how this terminal is just blank? So this one's fine, that one's blank. Do you guys see it? And I'm just having that issue, right? I'm just having this issue. So I think we'll be able to figure it out. This agent is working on it in Warp, so we'll see. Yeah, I'm using Electron. Isn't UltraThink enabled by default in Cloud Code? I don't think so, no. Yeah, we had technical difficulties in Florida, so we had to, you know, reschedule some things, but we're good. All right, how many likes are we at, by the way? Every 50, I'm gonna do 50 push-ups. All right, we're at 78 likes, so we're gonna hit some push-ups, guys. Let's go. All right, 30. Let's move the desk up, guys. Let's go. All right, 30 bomb. All right, so I think we're at like close to 80 likes. I'll just put how many I have up here. 30. All right, let's go, guys. Yeah, so that's what we're working on right now, Abhinav. So you can see it's updating the task. Perfect. Yeah, Warren Dev, we're back, man. Good to see you. All right, hold on, I need some water. Yeah, we are so back. We'll see. I don't know how long today's stream is going to be. We kind of had a change of plans. You know, we have to adapt a little bit. Yeah, we had technical difficulties. Things changed around, so let's just focus on making progress today. The chips fall where they fall. Okay, so you can see that our workspace did refresh. So I still am having this one here. Which one was it? It was, okay. So I'm gonna do this. All right. Review this screen, the task screen in the BridgeMind Electron app. I need you to make sure that the state is properly stored. For example, I don't like the project dropdown. We can just switch it to a tab look, so it loads in the different projects in tabs at the top instead of it being a dropdown. Also, if I select a specific project and I go off of that screen, I want to be able to go back to that screen and it still remains on that project. All right. All right, let's launch another agent. And then how is this doing? Like, we're gonna be able to quickly identify. Thank you, Ordev. Yeah, I use Claude Code quite a bit now. Yeah. What's up, Mashi? All right, also, if you guys have not already joined the Discord, make sure you do so. I am back. We are so back. We had technical difficulties in Florida. I mean, I have had the craziest week, guys. I had to abort the mission, and we had to get back to BridgeMind HQ. It was crazy. I had to drive like 12 hours in a day. I've been on a mission, a side quest, that's so to speak, a side quest. Ben Ams, let's go. Yeah, I've been hearing stuff about like people keep saying that like Claude Code is deprecated and they're making it worse or something, but I don't know about all that. All right, so let's go over here. So you can see now, okay, so we have a tab look. That's definitely better in my opinion. So yeah, so I can just change between tasks. Now the question is, can I go back? So you can see just the state management there I don't like. And this is gonna be very, very simple. That's the goal, is we just want this to be incredibly simple and not have a bunch of feature overhead, and then we're gonna ship it, okay? Like, that's our goal. I think that in this journey to date, you know, we know how to vibe code, we know how to do agentic coding, and we're just gonna be able to reverse engineer what we're doing and build a tool that's able to automate a lot of the existing systems that we already have in place. So we'll see. Let me do a couple things on my end though. All right. How's everybody's week been though? Been good? I was thinking about this today, and this is kind of random, but also we just hit 100 likes. Thank you guys. So I was thinking about just like the next set of models that we're gonna get, and like one thing to remember is that I think that Claude Sonnet 5 is gonna be incredibly good. I don't know if you guys have done any research, but this is a model that we're gonna get soon. The state is still not being managed properly. When I go off the screen and return, it is still switching back to another project that I wasn't on. Ben, I'm much better now. Yeah, I mean, I was going through it. I was sick. I had like a fever and I was having technical difficulties, but here's the thing is that whenever obstacles come in your way, you just need to adapt and just push forward, you know? Just push forward. John said we missed you, dude. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's good to be back, guys. Good to see everybody again. You know, it's definitely been like a tough start to 2026, but the thing is just because you have a tough start to a year doesn't mean anything. This year is going to be fantastic. Let's go. W's in the chat. Let's go. All right. Yeah, we're finally back to the stream. How much did I make? Right now we're about up to close. We're not quite over yet. We're about getting up to $1,000 a month with ViewCreator. And then, like I said, you know, we're going to be building an agentic coding tool. And this is, okay, perfect. We do have that state management fixed. Okay, so I can go off and come back and it's still there. Perfect. Thank you. All right, so BridgeMind, build the future. All right, new workspace. We'll just do workspace 1. Okay, what is up with like, one thing on the list today is I would love to get like really good custom terminals. That would be like super nice. I want you to review the screenshot. I want you to review all of the logic associated with the styling of these terminals in these workspaces and to tell me what files are associated with the styling and the behavior of the terminals in these workspaces. Jesse Pinkman, how's it going, man? Good to see you. How do I like anti-gravity? Anti-gravity, I mean, I've used it a couple times. I personally have not had like that good of experiences. I think that it is going to eventually be like probably a really good product. But just like one thing to note is it is new. So I don't think that it's quite there yet to the point where I would want to use it as my main. But I don't think that changes a whole lot. It's just that, I mean, yeah, you have to be mindful of, just like it's a new product. There are some bugs with it. It's a little bit quirky. That's my experience so far. This is my third startup, Majal. Yeah, I've been, my last company was an online therapy platform. I was the CEO and we scaled it to, I think there's like 30 therapists. But yeah, I mean, my perspective right now is that, BridgeMind's my full-time gig. I have the time and resources to be able to give it my all and, to see it play out fully. So, Moshi, what'd you say? I didn't see what you said. The majority of the revenue has come from ViewCreator, so you can go to viewcreator.ai. There's a link in the description below. We have over 2,000 users. We're coming up close on $1,000 a month in MRR. One really nice thing about ViewCreator, and I'll even like share this with you now, is like, so ViewCreator, here it is, if you're unfamiliar with it. So I went over my creator dashboard this morning, and I actually repopulated my content bank with a bunch of clips. So for example, like check out this. So as you guys can see, I just put a ton of content in my content bank this morning. And what's cool is that this BridgeMind agent now is just posting that around the clock for me at the scheduled times that I've set. So for example, here's our agent workflow. We can go back to the agent here, and this agent runs, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day. And this, for example, will generate about 50,000 views every 24 to 48 hours for me. So like in terms of ViewCreator, it is now the virality engine backing BridgeMind. So what we now have is one of the fastest growing vibe coding communities on the internet, and we're in a great position because we have the virality engine of ViewCreator backing us. We have ViewCreator generating revenue, and it's just great. We're in a fantastic position. I've never had a startup get to this point this fast. In other startups, I'm not even kidding, even for the online therapy platform, it took 12 months just to get the product to market and to build the team. So, you know, until you're able to gross $1 of revenue, it takes a year. You know, that's the perspective that I have. So a lot of people, and I think that's one cool part about this journey is that I'm able to share, hey, this is what it actually looks like to build a business, and this is what it looks like to be a startup founder. And I'm sharing it with you guys all just very genuinely or organically. And, you know, we can have some fun along the way, but ultimately I'm sharing this mission, I'm sharing this journey, and we have the time, we have the resources to be able to pursue it. And I hope that, you know, you guys are working along with me as well and making progress in your own lives, because we are at the front of a technological revolution, and we're just going to continue to move forward with this. Okay, so let's see this. So these are all the files associated with the terminal windows. So you have a, hold on. Okay, just do a list of files, no other content, just a list of the files. Okay, Super Combo Gamer said, question, when you move the card from to do to in progress, Does it build that task in the background automatically? Yeah, no, so this is very early on, super combo, so that's gonna be like something, I think that one thing like that I want to do is like, I don't want to create some like Claude specific system. So I don't want to just be like, we're only with Claude. Sorry, I'm still the lingering sickness here. So right now, for example, like this is completely separate. I don't want to do that functionality yet. This is very early on. You guys are going to see this project progress very rapidly, very quickly. But one thing that I can tell you right now is that we're just going to reverse engineer our vibe coding workflow, the one that works. And ultimately, I would love to get to the point where all you have to do is orchestrate the agents, and you don't have to do much code review. And we're gonna talk a little bit more about that. But right now, it's very just like manual. You create the task, you work with the MCP to complete the tasks. So that's where we're at right now. Now let's pull up Warp, because I don't want to be using BridgeMind a ton today because, for example, we're working on it. So when we're working on it, I want to be able to test it out. Hold on here. Let's CD into desktop here. Okay. All right, so there's a couple things that I want to address briefly. I don't only use Claude Code Merchada. I use a lot of other platforms. Okay, so it's these here. So one thing that I want to do now is I'm actually going to launch Cursor, and I'm going to open up Gemini 3 Pro. These are all of the files associated with the styling of our terminals in our workspace. What I am trying to do is I'm trying to reverse engineer Warp. I want you to look at a screenshot of a Warp workspace. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly go over here. Where is it? Okay, here. All right, so I'm gonna do a couple screenshots of this. Just because I want a similar look and structure. I think that Warp is great. I think that we can make it better with some additional features, but that's a topic for another time. I think that what I first want to address is I just want to build like a custom style for our terminals. So one thing I want to show you guys is like with Warp, look at this. So this is the look that you have in Warp, right? And I can go here and I can CD and I can just run Claude, right? And it just functions as a terminal. But do you guys see the way that it looks? Do you guys see how it looks? I really like the look of Warp because of the way that it actually looks. Like they have this custom styling for terminals that I think is absolutely fantastic. And I don't necessarily want to reverse engineer or copy them, but I do want the BridgeMind workspaces to not necessarily feel just like normal terminals, right? And I think to do that, we're going to have to do some really interesting engineering just in terms of, hey, what is it going to look like for us to be able to create those workspaces, right? Because right now I'm having trouble splitting vertically. So like, watch this. I'm supposed to be able to split vertically, but I'm only splitting horizontally. So I need to figure out why is that happening. So Romy just asked, how much do I pay for all the AI? So right now I actually pay, I just cut my expenses by quite a bit because I just don't need the AI subscriptions that I used to need a couple months ago because the AI costs have gone down. So for example, hey, you had a model like Opus 4.1, which was like, $25 per million on the input and $75 per million on the output. And now you just have models that are much cheaper and, you don't need to have these incredibly expensive plans. So, okay, let's go here. What I want to do is I do want to look and reverse engineer this. So let's just open up a new tab and like this is operating as a terminal. So I'm using Gemini 3 Pro. I need you to review the two screenshots of different Warp workspaces. And what I want you to particularly review is our styling of our terminals. So for right now, what I'm having an issue with is that these terminals don't really have custom styling. If you look at the screenshots and you look at Warp, you will see that Warp has this custom styling that is very, very good. So for example, you have styling that is custom. It's not just a normal terminal look, and I really like that. So I'm just wondering how we could replicate a similar structure so that our terminals would be customly styled and not look like just plain old terminals. Look at the files in the BridgeMind Electron application and figure out and construct a plan of what we could potentially update to reverse engineer the look of Warp. My health is a little bit better. I was really, really sick. I don't know if it was like COVID or just like a cold, but I was pretty down. you know, with the technical difficulties, like sometimes life hits hard, and I think that everybody understands that, and life's been hitting me hard, but that's okay, we're back. That's what matters. Is it open source? Not right now. I'm probably going to open source something. I don't know yet what that's going to look like, but give me some time and I'll figure that out. There's just a lot of new stuff going on right now, so all right, let's go to terminals. Okay, perfect. Close that. Okay. Yeah, Whisperflow is definitely worth it. I actually just bought the yearly plan for Whisperflow. It's like, I think the yearly plan is maybe, I forget now. I did buy the yearly plan. It was maybe like $100 something, but Whisperflow is really good. I think that the less that you can, I mean, we can even look at my Whisperflow stats, and you guys can see the benefits of Whisperflow right away. So for example, hey, I've been using it for 22 weeks. I speak in like the top 1%, so you can see 171 words per minute. I'm in the top 1% of all Flow users, so apparently I'm just a fast talker. So, you know, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's probably helps with the streams. People enjoy the ability to speak fast. I don't know if that's a thing, but it's cool to see the stats. 255,000 words have been dictated. I do speak fast, right? So 171 words per minute. I type at 100 words per minute. So my perspective on it is that, first of all, like when you're speaking, I think that if you can kind of just stream your conscious and stream exactly what you're thinking to an AI model, it's able to take what you're thinking and be able to then kind of fill in the gaps of what you may have left out or missed. I think that being able to speak allows you to speak much quicker and prompt much quicker because, again, I have a 70% improvement from speaking versus typing. But with that being said, guys, we are up to 138 likes. For every like that we get, it's going to be +1 push-ups. So if you haven't already liked the stream, make sure you do so. Also, this is the fastest growing vibe coding community on the internet. So I just want to give a quick shout out to newly joined members of the Bridge Army. We are up to 2,757 members. Let me give a quick shout out to newly joined members. Shout out to Pavle, shout out to Dr. Killer, shout out to Penguin Man, shout out to Joe, and shout out to Speeduo. Thanks for joining, guys. Happy that you're here. Welcome to the community. Okay, so let's go over to Warp here, and we are needing to actually with the Electron app, one thing that we want to do is right now with these tasks, it's just very simple, right? We just have, for example, instructions, right? But the thing is that I want to add in a new concept, which is just going to be like task knowledge, okay? So task knowledge is not going to be related to instructions. Task knowledge is, hey, you're working on a task, and let's say you want to pass that task off to multiple different AI agents at the same time. What you want to be able to do is you want to be able to fill up basically the brain or the knowledge of this task so that the AI agents that are working with the task actually have the knowledge. So for example, instead of me just giving a task and clicking go and it's starting to work on it, maybe instead I could instruct an agent to look at a task and to be able to fill up the knowledge in that task. So we're going to build this out, and it's going to be very simple to do so. Let's just launch another agent here. So let's go here, and what I'm going to do is there's a couple different areas in our code base that are important. First of all, the database. Second, the BridgeMind API. I need you to look at the schema of tasks, and I need you to add a new column called task knowledge. The concept of task knowledge is that this is a field where AI agents will be able to store not instructions pertaining to the task, but knowledge associated with the task. That means that things that are important to the task or information that is important in completing the task will be stored here. I need you to add this column, generate the migrations, run the migrations, and then I need you to update the API endpoints and the types across the code base to make sure that this logic is implemented accordingly. And I'm also going to add this to the BridgeMind, let's see here, the BridgeMind web app. So that's our web application. And then I'm also going to add this into the BridgeMind Electron app so it knows, hey, you need to update that as well. And I'm also going to add an ultrathink on this and launch 3 agents to help you complete this task. Okay, so it's going to complete that task, right? And I think that the point that I'm making here is that I want to be able to manage agents, and I want to be able to instruct agents to be able to do things, right? So for example, instead of me just giving this task, if I was able to initially initiate a task and then to actually add knowledge, if it was a very difficult task, which this one is decently difficult, we're also today going to add in different concepts like documentation, different agentic tools for the project specific. So if I pull up the project here and we go over to, let's just go here, you can see I have the BridgeMind project and I have the View Creator project. So what we'll be able to do is once we have this functioning a little bit better, we're going to be able to manage a ton of agents at once and manage a ton of tasks at once. Let's see here. So chat is saying, have you noticed that Gemini's models get stuck in cursor? It's so annoying. Yes, I have had that experience. Also, guys, we're up to 146 likes. Appreciate it. If you guys haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. Let's knock out some push-ups. Also, where is this task in cursor at? Is this done yet? Your terminal should now feature a distinct block-based UI where history is composed of rich interactive cards. Okay, did that actually happen? Hold on here. Let's go here. New workspace. Initializing warp mode. I don't know what that was. So I can go code, or hold on. Like we can launch open code in here, right? So open code, that's fine. Theme of open code. This is like redundant, but okay, cool. And I can do this. So I'm still not, why is it saying initializing warp mode? I don't notice any differences other than it's saying initializing warp mode. There's no styling changes that I noticed. What did you even do? All right, guys, I'm gonna pass this task in, and then let's hit some push-ups. Let's go. Let's go, chat. 50 bomb. I'm gonna catch up to you guys. We're at 150 likes, and I just knocked out a 50 bomb. We're up to 80, so I'm behind. You guys are ahead of me by 70 likes, 70 push-ups, but I'll catch up. I'll catch up. You guys know me. Are you using multiple AI agentic tools? Yes, I am. PNK Sounds, let's go. He said up to 50 here, 100 plus to go. Let's go. Let's go. That's awesome. Okay. Okay, what's going on here? Let's pull this up. All right, new workspace. Okay. That looks so bad. I hate that. That's all right, though. All right. I think I want to remove this. I want to remove this bottom tab here. Jose, let's go. Oh yeah, Maxologies, I am so back. I've been on a side quest, guys. I've been going through it. We're back though. We are back. Yeah, finally back home, locked in for the rest of 2026. Let's go. Okay, so let's pull up Warp. So this one was working on the task knowledge. So we'll be able to open this back up. In this task knowledge, this will be open here soon. I don't like this, like there's no need for, like instructions should be styled. It should be able to parse the markdown and style it accordingly. Knowledge should be a thing. So we're gonna have instructions. Hold on, let's just draw this on the board here. So we're gonna have like this, and this will change, right? This will evolve. But the way that I see it is you have like, you have instructions in like, sorry. So you have instructions. And this is a big concept. Another big one though is knowledge, in my opinion, because I want the task. Like if a task is being worked on, I don't want the context resetting and then me having to like just lose everything compact, right? I want to work on a task, and I may want, you know, 4 agents to work on that task. So I may want agent 1, 2, and 3 to all fill up the knowledge base, and then I may want to then pass this off to 1 agent, but I may want to fill that knowledge base first. So I think that just to get started here, kind of the concept that we're talking about is, hey, we're going to build this task-based system where we're able to create tasks, fill them with knowledge respectively. I think there's going to be a couple more things like just better system prompting, and we can do all this in our MCP. Yeah, 2026 is our year, 100%. What am I building? So we've built View Creator, which is a way to completely automate social media marketing, and that's now the virality engine backing BridgeMind. So for example, I generate about 50,000 views every 24 to 48 hours using View Creator, and that project is close to 1,000 MRR, and we get, you know, like 100 users signing up pretty much like every other day. So View Creator is doing well. If you check this, like for example, here's what it looks like. We have the BridgeMind agent, and you can see that this agent runs 6 times a day, right? And this is just totally automatically posting content for me. And like I said, I generate about, 50,000 views every 24 to 48 hours. So it's very nice. You don't like the green? All right, I'll change the green. We've got Cyberpunk, Midnight, Dark. Dark theme's fine though. It's chill. Yeah, I don't really like this. So it did remove that bottom. I just don't necessarily like this here. Like, I just think that this is kind of unneeded. Would it be possible to make it so that that input box is just an input, and be able to remove the file paths here and put this maybe in the upper part, like the header of that? Also, there's way too much padding. I don't know if that made any sense to the AI, but what I want is, like with Warp, what I like about Warp is, for example, like, hey, they just have this input, right? Which I like. I really like that. I don't have to, input anything, and then it has the working directory right here, and I can change this, right? And that's very nice. So instead of the working directory being shown, it's just right there. Linux, shout out to you, man. Thank you. All right. The AirPod Maxes, I mean, they're all right. They do get uncomfortable for a while, but it's all right. What's my opinion on the Gemini CLI? I don't really use it. I actually have never used it. Maybe we should get it just to try it. Gemini CLI. I've never even used it. So Google Gemini CLI. Let's try it. Why not? Shout out to who said that? Okay, shout out to Bang. All right, how do I install this? All right. Okay, let's figure out how to install it real quick. Yeah, I've never used the Gemini CLI, so let's just fix it real quick and figure out how to get up and running. How do I get the Gemini CLI installed on my computer? All right. All right, we're up to 172 likes. If you guys have not already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. For every like that we get, I'm going to do +1 push-ups. So right now we're 172. We've done so far 80. So I'm about 90 behind you guys. I better catch up. All right, so here is the installation. So to install it here, yeah, it's just npm install. And I'll drop this in chat too so that you guys have it. All right, Linux said that Gemini CLI is solid. I use it in Quen CLI a bit more, but a GUI guy, but I know why folks like the CLI stuff. Yeah. Okay, so let's just install this real quick. Let's go over to Warp and get it installed. Yeah, I've never used it. I'm assuming, do you just run like Gemini or something like that? All right, let's let that do its thing. Okay. Okay, hold up here. All right, let's restart. So how it works is you have to sign into your browser so that there is a little bit of like with this flow, I figured this out. What was it? I guess it was yesterday. I was working on this off stream. Open Electron. Okay, so now we're authenticated. Now I can open up Electron, and for example, like, is this just going black or what's going on here? Yeah, it is. Your updates broke something because now when I open up a new window or workspace, it's just a black screen. Pinpoint exactly why this happened and fix it. That's the BridgeMind IDE. All right. Also, if you guys are watching, have not already subscribed, what are we at? It's been a while since we did a sub check, hasn't it? It's been a, all right, let's see here. Okay, we are up to 22,359 subscribers. Thank you for all your support, guys. All right, let's pull this up here. All right, yeah, so it's just like black. It's going black on me. I'm not sure why. OpenCode Desktop is a fun one. I collect too many random things I don't actually use. Is OpenCode Desktop even a thing? That's crazy. Yeah, I've never used OpenCode. I mean, OpenCode, I used it this morning in the, I mean, you can just easily run it, right? So, I mean, you can just, once you download OpenCode, I mean, you can run it anywhere, right? Just like in your terminal. So, you can run OpenCode here, and it's all right. I mean, I do have a video. If you guys want to watch it, I did review it, and I did try it out. One thing to note is that you can no longer use OpenCode with your Claude plan. So, for example, you were able to use OpenCode with your Claude plan, but they just, like, stopped that. So, for example, if I try to use Opus 4.5 and I just say test, what's going to happen is I'm going to get this credential is only authorized for use with Claude Code and cannot be used for other API requests. So they just did that, and yeah, for some reason they just did that. All right. All right, let's pull this back up. All right, Chuck Cart said, why do you use 3 Claude Code instances? Also, what is the best CLI? I have GLN 4.7 coding plan. Sorry for asking too many questions. No, you're good, man. Don't worry about it. I'm happy to answer your questions. Yeah. So, I mean, the way that agentic coding works is you're able to manage multiple tasks at the same time. So instead of just like working on one particular thing at a time, and I'm about to show you this. So for example, like, hey, with BridgeMind, and we're having a bug here. So let me just fix this bug. It's annoying. The same thing is still happening. Fix it. So for example, I can launch a bunch of these at once, right? And that's one, and I'll show you here in a second, but you know, you can launch a bunch of agents at once, especially with Claude Code. Like, I used to say that Cursor was by far the best vibe coding tool. That, my opinion there has kind of switched. I mean, I think that Cursor probably still is probably the best agentic IDE tool. Like, if you're choosing between Cursor and VS Code, I mean, there's a pretty obvious better option. Which is, you know, Cursor. But check this out. I mean, the reason that Cursor is so great is because, for example, I can just launch this, and I can go here, and boom, like, I have this launched. All right. Note that the BridgeMind Vibeathon is being rescheduled. Please update all the content on the website accordingly to note that it is being rescheduled. It has not been canceled. It is just being rescheduled. And that's an announcement for you guys as well. Florida, we had technical difficulties, and we're going to have to reschedule the Vibeathon, but it's still on. So if you guys were working on a project and you want to eventually enter it, I don't know exactly when the official dates of this Vibeathon are going to be. We're just going to reschedule it for now, but let's do that. And I'm also going to add BridgeMind UI on the website, and then let's submit that. Gemini 3 Pro is going to be able to help us there. So what's nice about Cursor is that you're able to launch a browser, and you're able to do, like, hey, you're able to select different div elements, and you're able to select specific things. Like, hey, for example, if I wanted this to not wrap, I could just select, hey, this H2 element here, and then it would be able to do it, right? I tried finding anti-gravity free trial, but I can't find it anymore. Did they remove it? I'm not sure about that. Awario, what's up, man? Yeah, we are so back. Can you use sub-agents? Yes, you can use sub-agents inside of Claude Code. It's very nice. Very nice. All right, so let's go here. Is this working now? So here is the BridgeMind IDE. So with the BridgeMind IDE, you're able to manage tasks inside of the IDE. So for example, here are all the tasks that we're working on right now. Add terminal buffer persistence test. So for example, I can just launch a new workspace, and this is the issue that we're having, which is that I'm launching these workspaces and it is having issues here. So let's launch. Let's go open Cursor here. Oh, it's this here. All right. All right, let's launch Claude. So I'm going to add the BridgeMind Electron, and then I'm going to do an ultra think. Launch 2 sub-agents to review the code associated with the following issue. Right now, when I create a new workspace, it is just going to a black screen, and I can't get off of it. I don't know why this is happening. Review the code in depth and pinpoint exactly why this is happening, and then use the BridgeMind MCP to create a new task associated with updating and fixing this issue. In the instructions of the task, make sure you put all the information needed to actually complete the task and fix this error. So we're kind of playing around with this. I think that we're going to be able to create a very good product here for vibe coding so that we can basically sub-modulate tasks. So for example, this is going to update, oh man, I forgot to actually put in, hold on here. I'm going to do this. I need to screenshot it and then share what I'm doing. So it's just a black screen, as you can see. It's our issue. Drop this in. I do not want windsurf. I want warp. Here we go. Perfect. All right. Another thing that I want to do is I do want to look at Electron here, and so we didn't just like we didn't use whatever the branch of VS Code. It's not. We didn't use that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of take a little bit of a different approach. This is gonna be a tool for agent orchestration. That's what the BridgeMind IDE is gonna be for. Sat dev, I'm actually going to be trying the AMP agent here soon, so. What do you mean, when do I compact? Like, when do I compact conversations? I want you to do an in-depth review of this project. I want to make it so that I am able to open up BridgeMind Electron in a particular directory on my computer. Now, something to note is that you can open up terminals and go to any directory that you want. You also have the task board and the ability to change between different projects. But I do want users to be able to open up BridgeMind in a particular directory on their computer. You can see this on the welcome screen that this is an option. It's just not built in yet. And I do want there to be the ability to review different files and review the file trees and folder structure and add new files. I need all of this built into the BridgeMind Electron project. I need you to review what I'm asking. Launch 5 agents. Some of them should search the internet for the best practice on this. And then I need you to build the functionality for this so that users are able to navigate to a particular directory on their computer in this product and be able to navigate file trees, open up files, and have it styled similarly to like a VS Code, so that users can navigate their file structures, be able to edit files, and everything like that. All right. Oh, Rahit said compaction is a huge issue for him while working on long projects. How are you managing that? Yeah, so compaction is big, and one way that I'm currently addressing it, and I'll show it to you in a second, but this is one reason that we're building BridgeMind is because of compaction. I think that the best approach to have is you need to be able to break things down into subtasks. So for example, let's say that you have a big refactor that you're doing, right? Well, instead of just giving that entire refactor to one agent that's gonna get, it's gonna get to the end of its context window, you can actually see what's happening here. So this is using the BridgeMind MCP, which is what we're working on right now, is we're actually building a vibe coding tool. So you can see here that we launched some agents, and now this is actually utilizing the BridgeMind MCP, and you can see that it's creating a task using the BridgeMind MCP, okay? So it's creating a task in the BridgeMind project, and it's giving all of the information instruction to that task, right? And then what I'm able to do, and we're gonna fix this so that you guys can see it here in a second, but for example, I now want you to work on this task and complete it, is that you're able to break down very complex things into subtasks, and then you're going to be able to launch a bunch of different agents to complete each particular subtask, okay? So this is going to solve the issue with compaction. This is going to solve a lot of issues with hallucination, and like I said, if you look behind me, we're also integrating the logic of knowledge. So for each task, not only is there going to be instructions associated with that task that's going to be in Markdown so that the agents can, parse it and understand it, but there's also going to be knowledge specific. So for example, if you know that a task is difficult, you can you know, click a button and you're going to be able to launch agents that instead of actually completing the task and updating code, it's going to be able to fill that task knowledge bank so that you can then pass it off to another agent that's able to have that added knowledge instead of you just getting right off out of the get-go of like, hey, do this instruction or do this task. Instead, you're going to be able to pass it off to another agent that's going to be able to see the task, review the code, go fetch information off the internet, go do what it needs to fetch the knowledge and get knowledge in its knowledge base, and then you can ultimately pass that on to another agent that's going to be able to complete the task that way. So, do I have YOLO mode in Cloud Code? Yes, I do. Did you hear about RLM? No, I did not. What's that? All right, we are up to 208 push-ups, so I need to catch up with you guys. So let me knock out some push-ups here. Let's move the desk up. We are up to 80 push-ups, but we have 208 likes. So I'm gonna have to catch up here. You guys are getting ahead of me. So I'm gonna knock out 40 here. Let's go. Go, 40 bomb. All right, let's go. All right, so we're now at 120. Let's go, chat. All right, Prem asked, can beginners who are learning vibe coding make it? Are there paid things in it too? Yes. As a beginner, like, hey, all you need to do is you just need to get started. That's the only thing that you have to do. Like, sometimes it's better to not think as much and just get started. All right, hold on. Tan, what's up? All right, some people in chat are asking about RLM. All right, in agentic coding, RLM stands for Recursive Language Model. It is a recent inference strategy designed to overcome the context window limitations of traditional large language models and improve performance on complex long horizon tasks. Okay, so how it works, the RLM paradigm allows the agent to manage and process information intelligently and efficiently. So context is a variable. The long prompt or data is loaded into the REPL as a variable, not directly into the model's token limit. That's interesting. The LLM can execute code to peek at, search, filter, and transform subsets of the data as needed, much like a human programmer exploring a data set. Recursive subcalls, the model can programmatically initiate sub-LLM calls or recursively call instances of itself to answer specific questions about smaller, relevant chunks of the external context. The model determines how to break down the task and manage the context dynamically during inference rather than following a rigid, predefined workflow. So that's what RLM is. Oh, wow. All right, so apparently GLM 4.7 is being served at 800 tokens per second on Cerebras. How is that even possible? Yeah, I don't monetize YouTube at all. I don't monetize the streaming. It's not my goal to be a content creator, so I'm just sharing my journey with you guys. learn along the way together and sharing the mission. I'm not trying to be a content creator, so. The AI bill is coming down, so it used to be $600 a month, but now it's only about it's like cut in half. It's about $280 now, is the AI bill. Chinese labs are way ahead. Wait, I don't understand. So Cerebras, how are they serving 800 tokens per second, but then ZAI is only serving it at like 30 tokens per second? That doesn't make any sense to me. Cerebras. So people in chat are saying that this is running GLM 4.7. Oh, wow. All right, GLM 4.7 from ZAI is live on Cerebras at 1,000 tokens per second. Frontier intelligence for coding. I mean, that's insane. How is that even possible? They have custom chips. Yeah, WDN's got a spark. He said he just got an insane update on performance. Absolutely night and day. Wait, what do you mean? How so? All right, is this now working? What is going on with this? Okay, so let's test this real quick. I'm gonna restart. All right, so let's sign in. Okay. All right. All right, so this is still in progress. Yeah, still getting that same issue. Yeah, I am still getting the same exact issue. I create a new workspace and it's just a black screen. I need you to launch 3 agents to review the code and pinpoint exactly what is causing this. Doesn't the 3 Claude Code instances conflict? No, they don't. Awaria, thank you. Appreciate it. Backstory, I can check. If you just, the best way to reach me is like if you ping me in general and say check this, check messages. If you really need to contact me, just do that. No, Linux is not a bot. Okay, hold on. WDN just dropped this in. So he just dropped a link. So 2.5 performance increase from a software update. What? All right, let's check this out. So this is related to the NVIDIA DGX Spark. So January 5th, scaling large models locally with unified memory. Dan, what model are you using mainly? Like, what's the go-to on a DGX? So for anybody wondering, like, a DGX Spark is one of the best systems to be able to run locally, AI locally, right? So let's up DGX Spark. So this is a DGX Spark. Here's what it looks like. How much is it? It's like $4,000, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, $4,000. Powered by the NVIDIA GB10 Grace Blackwell Super Chip. NVIDIA DGX Spark delivers up to 1 petaflop of FP4 AI performance in a power-efficient compact form factor with the NVIDIA AI software stack pre-installed in 128 gigabytes of memory. Developers can prototype, fine-tune, and inference the latest generation of reasoning AI models from DeepSeek, Meta, NVIDIA, Google, Quinn, and others with up to 200 billion parameters locally. Veer Shaw, what's up, man? All right, so this is going to be able to do a lot here. All right, open folder. And then let's open up, let's just go to desktop and open up BridgeMind. All right. All right, and this agent's working on this, so we'll be able to do this in a second. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, the new NVIDIA chips are gonna be pretty. I mean, it's to be expected though, right? I mean. All right, Dan said that he can run 235 billion Quen model now, and Nemotron GPT OSS models are really flying as well. An M4 Max MacBook 128 gig is. I don't think it's the same. You're not going to get the same inference on a MacBook as you would with just like an AI super chip from NVIDIA, though. Oh wow, they're 5x the performance of the previous chips. That's insane. So we probably do need to start looking into the subscription logic. So I do want to just add the database, and I'm gonna add the BridgeMind API. So we have not yet introduced the logic of Stripe into the application, but we are going to need to do that. I want you to first do an in-depth review of both the database and the API, and then come back to me with the best structure for what we could do for a good subscription model in terms of I'm going to use Stripe, and I want to offer just 2 plans to start out, a pro plan that is $20 per month and a free plan, which is makes it so that users can start for free to test out. These are both going to be Stripe products. Free is going to be $0 a month, and pro is going to be $20 a month. Yeah, you can execute multiple Claude instances at the same time. I need your help brainstorming the best database schema for this. So review our existing architecture and then help me think through what the best approach for this would be. Launch 2 agents and then come up with a comprehensive README file with the documentation of what you think we should do and what a good plan for this would actually be. Did I hear about the new LTX2 model? No, I did not, no. Okay, so Guts Requiem said, I want to vibe code but have no money. Can you tell me how to vibe code for free? Yeah, so I actually used to like take kind of like a stance on that, but honestly things have changed a little bit. Just the model scene has changed, and I want to show you guys like what I'm talking about. So to answer your question, I'm gonna just pull up LM Arena real quick, and then you'll see where I'm going with this, but here it is. Okay, LM Arena, all right? So there are 2 models that I wanna draw your attention to in LM Arena. So it's this one here, so Minimax M 2.1 and GLM 4.7. So these are 2 fairly good models. So this one scores pretty high, this one also scores high. But for example, if you know what OpenCode is, so you can actually use OpenCode. This is a tool that's been rising in popularity. I can now launch OpenCode, and if I do a /models here, what you're gonna see is that you actually have access to these 2 models for complete free. Like, so these models are both completely free. GLM 4.7 OpenCode, and then Minimax M 2.1 OpenCode. So I don't know, I haven't used it enough to know what the rate limits look like on this. Also, Big Pickle, Grok Code Fast, these are all free models that you now have access to inside of OpenCode. So I think it's a great way to do that if you want, but definitely something to take note of, that's for sure. WebDev Cody, what's up, man? Good to see you. How's it going? Yeah, we are so back, Senzi. I think the BMAD method is a little bit overkill. I know that there are people that I haven't, you know, like when it initially started to become a thing, people were talking about it a ton. But I think I've been hearing about it a lot less. I don't know if anybody here is using it or thinks it's a good tool, but I would say, yeah, I mean, I don't know, about BMAD. I think it's a little bit too much overhead. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so we're having an issue here. I think this one caused a bunch of issues. So I do want to go back to our Electron app and just, hold on here. Let's just enter one start. I am getting this issue when launching the Electron app. Figure out what's causing this and fix it. I mean, there's still a background task running in this agent, so. Also, one thing to note is, I will kind of explain what I'm doing here. It's not really smart to launch like a task that may not be associated. Like, for example, I was about to drop that issue, that error that we're having into a fresh, into an existing window, right? And that would not have been the best thing to do. You want to launch it into a fresh window, because if I had launched it in that pre-existing window, what would have happened is it would have been looking for this error and trying to figure out, hey, what's causing this? And it would be looking at what it did in that conversation, thinking that something that I did caused this error, so let me review and rework this. But we were launching so many agents, we don't know which agent actually, you know, did it. So we're gonna launch this in a fresh window. That's just something for vibe coding. If you guys didn't know, that's one thing that I do. An M4 Pro 16 is perfect. I mean, obviously, like if you use a DGX Spark, is gonna operate much better than, I mean, we can even ask AI right now. Like, let's hold on here. Let's go to Claude real quick, and let's just ask Claude, like, what's gonna perform better, a DGX Spark or an Apple. Let's go. All right, let's go over here. So let's go to Apple. Also, do they have the new M4, the M5 Max yet? They have the new M5s. I know that they have the M5s, but they have the M5 Maxes. I don't think they have M5 Maxes out yet. Yeah, they only have M5s, which aren't that good. I think an M4 Max is still better. So, like an M4 Max is $3,199. All right. What is better for me to run AI models locally? Which products, the DGX Spark or the Apple M4 Max? All right. I mean, I think we already know the answer on this one. We'll let it think though. Okay, so this agent was working on our ability so that we could actually have an editor inside of our app. All right, let's let this fix. All right. All right, let's review this. So, what does it want to do? One thing that I will say is that if I learned something from like the view creator onboarding flow, I think that the best approach, in my opinion, is to not create like super complex onboarding flows. The best process is to just, hey, let people get in for free. And if they want to go forward, if they want to make a purchase, let them do that. Like it sometimes is just a little bit easier to just let people by default sign up for free. And then, hey, have entitlements and have logic that's going to block them from making certain requests. Like, just have some guards based on what, you know, plan that they have. But hey, when they sign up, it should just allow them to quickly let them sign up for a free plan. We'll have a pricing page, but yeah, I mean, I just don't think that you need like super complex logic right when people are, you know, getting started. I now want you to build a front-end pricing page that outlines these two plans. Build this pricing page and also put it in the nav bar. So someone 799 said, can you code without AI? So here's the thing, is that software development is changing. Oh shoot, am I gonna get another runaway? Sometimes the, okay, this is, okay, I get it. Also, if you guys are watching, have not already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. For every like that we get, I'm going to do +1 push-up. Right now, I'm at 120, so speaking of which, I probably need to do another set here soon, but I'm a little bit behind you guys, but yeah, we're at 259, so... I mean, the more likes that we get, the more push-ups I'm going to have to do. The more push-ups that I'm going to have to do, the longer that we're going to be streaming, so... all right, let's do this. Let's go. I appreciate you guys. Also, all right, this is still loading. Yeah. Okay, so we fixed this issue, but now when I render the app and actually launch it, it's just saying loading BridgeMind and I never see anything. I need you to review the code with 3 analyst agents to identify and pinpoint exactly why this is happening and then fix it. And it was definitely this agent is the culprit. But yeah, so to answer that question is that, hey, in my opinion, I just think that software development is changing in a big way. I think that instead of people like getting in there, and I mean, these models are going to get so good that it will get to a point where you don't have to ever look at the code, where you don't have to do anything in the code base, where you will just be able to operate these agents and orchestrate these agents. And that's going to take time. But I think that if you have been in the vibe coding space, if you've been in the agentic coding space for a while now, you have seen the trajectory of it. And it's like, I'm looking forward to the next set of model releases because, hey, as we've known, these models are going to continue to get better. They're going to continue to get more accurate. You're going to be able to one-shot more, faster, easier. People that have know nothing about coding are going to be able to build products like that. So what we want to do is we want to be able to be on the cutting edge of this. We want to be able to support the development of these technologies. That's one reason that we're building BridgeMind, and we've built the things that we've built. We now have the backing of the View Creator virality engine, which is generating about 50,000 views every 24 to 48 hours, and it's also grossing close to $1,000 a month in revenue, and we're going to continue to move forward. Offer John said, I'm so pumped now that he's back. I mean, yeah, we had a such a unfortunate, you know, couple of events, but I'm just excited to be back. I'm happy to be back to the grind. And like, what's cool is that I just enjoy this so much. I enjoy what we do so much. I think that agentic coding is really enjoyable and fun and almost addictive. I've heard a lot of people in chat say that as well. Backstory said that Elon mentioned there's a new Grok coding model coming. Sandev said, how do you run multiple Claude instances in sync? Do they develop different code bases or feature sets in different branches using work trees? So what I do is I actually just have all these agents in the dev branch, and what I'll do is I'll just run them on different tasks. So for example, like this agent here, and this is one thing, like you just have to in your mind understand what the workflow is and what these agents are working on, right? Because my full-time job is I'm basically an AI agent orchestrator. Speaking of which, what did this say? So that it said, great question. For your use case running AI models locally, here's the breakdown. The DGX Spark wins decisively. Here's why. So the memory is key bottleneck for local LLMs. So the unified memory on a DGX Spark is 128 gigs, which is insane. An M4 Max config is 36 gigs of unified memory. The difference is massive. With 36 gigabytes, you're limited to running quantized versions of 30 billion parameter models. With 120 gigs, you can run much larger models like Llama 3.1 70 billion at higher precision, or even experience with larger architectures. Yeah. So shout out to WDan for sharing that. I think that it's very interesting to see, just kind of like, I mean, local LLMs could get really good. They probably will be really good. You can have a 128 M4 Max. Yes, you can. Handle Lock said I motivate him every day. Let's go, man. Appreciate it. I mean, we're all in it together, right? So I'm happy to motivate you guys. You guys motivate me. That's what this community is all about. So, all right, we're at 278 likes. I'm gonna have to hit some push-ups here soon. Let's go. Yeah. No, I disagree with you, Turquoise. Here's the thing, is that I think that, like, I just think you're wrong. And there's evidence for it, so. We made cold plunge today. I'm not sure yet, though. I'll let you guys know. Yeah, I am waiting for the M5 Ultra. Oh, yeah. That is going to be a good model for local, for sure. All right, let's hit some push-ups. Hold on here. Let's actually, before we hit some push-ups though, let's see this. I mean, I'm behind on the push-ups. You guys are crushing it. We're up to 280 likes. I'm only 128 push-ups. I got a lot of work to do. All right, what is going on here? You can check the description. We built View Creator, and we've also are now building the BridgeMind Agentic coding system. More to come on that. We're dealing with a bug right now. All right, so what is going on? Let's go to npm. No. I am still getting the same issue. Would you add better logging so we could pinpoint exactly what's happening? I'm 23 years old. All right, so this one's working on a pricing page. This one, I think that this one is the one that actually caused this issue. Well, okay, we do need to hit some push-ups. I'm gonna hit 40 push-ups. Let's also move up the desk. Let's get the energy back, guys. Let's go. You guys know how it is. If you guys are hitting the push-ups with me, we got 247 people in the chat. Let's go. Let's go. We are so back. We are so back. All right, I'm gonna drop a 40 bomb, guys. Let's go. All right, let's go, chat. 40 bomb. You know how it is. All right, every like is a push-up. We're up to 160 push-ups, but we're behind. We're up to 160. Let's go. Okay, this one's done. So let's go over to cursor real quick. So this one I asked, it needs to create a pricing page. So let's see what it looks like. Hold on here. Okay, it did not put the pricing page in the nav bar. You did not put the pricing page in the nav bar. I need you to resolve this issue now. And then run npm run build, fix any build errors. So I'm using Warp right now for vibe coding. Okay, so somebody said that currently using Claude Code Max plan. I'm not sure what use case I can use these local models if I have Opus 4.5 at my fingertips with amazing usage. Yeah, I think that's a great point. I mean, I think that, so some of them heard, I'm not going to put words in his mouth, but so a member of our community, W. Dan, very respected in the BridgeMind community, he said that what he thinks is like, hey, there is a lot of subsidizing going on. And one reason that he's a little bit more into the local usage is because he thinks that the subsidies at some point are going to stop. So that may not, I mean, if WDN's here, he can probably elaborate on that a little bit better, but I've heard that he's talked about that a little bit just as a consideration of like, hey, he thinks that at some point the subsidization is going to stop and that all the prices are going to go up. That's not my standpoint. I don't think that that's going to happen. Like, I think that when you look at the current place of where things are at, like I see Opus, the price of Opus going down, right? So that's just one thing. Hunk said, set up his floor apartment looking exactly like his home. Yeah, let's go. All right, so here is the errors that we got. That's much better. Okay. I am getting these errors on startup, fix them now. But yeah, so for anybody just joining us, so we had I've been on a crazy side quest. Pretty much went all the way down to Florida. I had a place in Florida booked for 2 weeks, had technical difficulties at the place. So I literally had to drive all the way back to Indiana. So a couple of our plans have changed. We're gonna reschedule the Vibeathon. We're gonna figure out a couple things. It's been a little bit crazy because I've been sick, and then I also had to drive 12 hours in one day, 2 days apart. So once I realized things are gonna have to change and my plans were gonna change, I was like, okay, I might as well enjoy 1 day in Florida. I took 1 day to just enjoy the sun, and then now we're back. We're back to the grind. I was gonna stay there for 2 weeks, but I had to literally drive all the way back here. but that's all good. Okay, so it looks like this is done. Let's try and restart this again. So basically what I did there is sometimes, like, if you're having a persistent issue that you aren't able to fix, it's really helpful to be able to just like have the logging improve. Can be really, really good and really helpful. So we now have the logging improved. I am still getting this error, but we have like a really persistent error right now. That's all right. Ben, let's go. Yeah. Yeah, Ben, you know how it is, man. I was behind the wheel. It's all good, though. All right, we're 1 like away from 300 likes. We're up to 160 push-ups, so I'm going to have to knock out some here soon. All right, let's go here. All right, how's this doing? Is this good now? So build the future. Here's the pricing page that it created. That's a terrible pricing page. I do not like that. What I want to do is, it's always good to use Gemini 3 Pro for styling, in my opinion. I think that in a lot of cases, Opus can be better, but I want you to review the pricing page. The styling of it is absolutely terrible. Review the spacing, make it more compact, more modern. Use ShadCN, use the theme and styling. Remove that ugly header. Just make it so that the prices are at the top. Completely update this to be way better on the pricing page. All right, cool. All right, let's go. The biggest plus I see for these open models is the fact that they make sure the paid models stay cheap. That actually is a good point. That is a good point. Astrobot just asked, what are you building now? So as you guys know, so we have built View Creator, which is at this point a virality engine backing BridgeMind. It's generating revenue. It has over 2,000 users. It's getting close to $1,000 MRR, and it's a great product for us to be able to use as the virality engine of BridgeMind. So for example, you know, I have this content in my content bank, and these just automatically post every single day, 6 times a day. If we go over here, we can look at my BridgeMind agent, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It posts all from TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And it just posts on autopilot, and I generate about 50,000 views every 24 to 48 hours using this agent. So it's an incredible tool. I'm very, very proud of it, and it's at this point now the virality engine backing BridgeMind. So let's see if this is this fixed yet? Let's close some of these now. So let's see here. Let's go to NPM. What is my total monthly cost for these models? Okay, there we go. We finally got to the bottom of this issue. And again, like, if you have a persistent issue, the best thing to do is just like improve the logs, and then the feedback mechanism between the models and the logs, just make sure that the models are able to see the logs, and they will be able to solve it. So let's open up the Electron app. So this is BridgeMind. This is what we're currently working on. So this is an Electron app. And what we're going to talk about now is, I'm going to show this to you guys. So I can open up a new workspace. Let's see, does this error? Okay, so we still have this issue here, but now we do have some better logging. So let's drop this in here. When I try to open up a new workspace, this is the error that I'm getting. I need you to review this and pinpoint exactly what is causing this, and then fix this. Okay, I've been hearing about this a lot, so shout out to Hung as well. So he said, for those who don't have the budget, Opus 4.5 is free in AMP code starting from today, max $10 per day, and token costs powered by ads. Okay, that's crazy. So AMP code, I'm actually gonna make a video and probably release it tomorrow, AMP code. So let's go here, AMP code. So, you know, I don't make any, so just so you guys know, anybody that's new, so I don't make any money off of the YouTube channel or any platforms. The goal for me is not to become a content creator, but to actually share my journey and to build BridgeMind into something truly remarkable. It's not to become a content creator and take a bunch of sponsorships on. It's to build a community. It's to build the future, and that's what we're doing. So I don't have monetization turned on, and I don't take sponsors. So everything that you see from me is going to be authentic, legit. I've been vibe coding for over 3 years now, and yeah, I mean, I think that it's the future of development. So you can see AMP code. I'm going to try this tomorrow and share a review of it. But yeah, I have heard that basically this is powered by ads, which is crazy. I mean, I don't know how I would feel about, you know, making a, you know, having a prompt and then having to watch a Burger King ad. I don't know how I feel about that, but, you know, maybe that's works better for some people, right? Okay, so here we go. So we finally have this working. So as you guys see here, I now do have this working. So I can go to my desktop, I can go to BridgeMind, and I can, for example, like launch multiple panes. And I don't like how it says initializing warp mode. I do want to remove that. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a quick screenshot. And we're using warp because I can't actually use the BridgeMind IDE until I actually get it, you know, to a stable version. I need you to review the screenshot. Would you remove the padding? The terminals just look a little bit odd with that padding and that spacing. Also, remove the content that says initializing warp mode. Remove that completely. I hate that. An ad per generated token could work. I mean, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. Is BridgeMind an AMP code competitor? It's not. Well, you guys are going to see how the vision kind of evolves. That's, I think, another cool part about this journey is that, you know, you guys get to see the pivots. You guys get to see everything, right, behind the scenes. And I'm just giving you my true, organic, authentic self. And you guys get to see all that. But I wouldn't necessarily put BridgeMind as an AMP code competitor quite yet. But, you know, BridgeMind's in the space. But we'll see. Yeah. I mean, people have said, like, they have talked about they're like, oh, it's scary that, you know, ChatGPT knows all these things about you because, you know, you'll be able to, you know, give you super highly targeted ads. Also, I'm going to pull up our Discord. So for those of you that are in the Discord, one thing that I do ask is like, hey, you know, I don't monetize and I don't take sponsors or anything. And one thing that I ask that you guys do is just be engaged in the community. Give back to the community, ask questions, don't be afraid to reach out. But general chat is awesome way to do that. But let's see here, let's just read a couple chats. So Super Combo Gamer said Grok 5 will shock the world again. Sonnet 5 might feel just feel like a small boost rather than a massive jump like 3 Pro did. So that's interesting. So Super Combo thinks that Grok 5 is going to be pretty good. Okay. Yeah, so I'm hiring. Really, the standpoint that I have, I just put everybody on what's called 1099s. For now, but there's people that, you know, are helping out for that. Okay, let's go here. Okay, nice. It removed that padding issue. So let's CD into the desktop, CD into BridgeMind, and then, for example, I can launch another window here, and I can launch open code here, and then I can launch Claude here. So that looks good. And really what I need to do is splitting panes horizontally is still not working. And we need to figure out what's causing that. But one thing about this is that, like, let's open BridgeMind back up and let's go over to the task board here. And one big thing is that I want to make sure that we can add knowledge. So we do need to update this here. And what's interesting is we can't, when we're updating the Electron app, we can't actually update it using itself because it's going to be refreshing and whatnot. So let's move this over here and let's use warp. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this, and this is just like the task modal. And what I want to do is I need to restyle this, and I need your help in restyling the task modal here to make sure that users can switch in between instructions as well as knowledge. Review the API and the schema of tasks. As you will note, we have now added in the logic of knowledge, so I need you to add that in to the task modal on the task board. Yeah, we are so back, guys. I am happy to be back. This is one of my favorite things to do. I love it, and I love being a part of this community, and I appreciate you guys so much because, you know, we're building the future, and there's no better time to be alive, and there's no better people to build it with, so thank you. Also, let's knock out some push-ups. Let's go. All right, 30 bomb. I'm catching up to you guys. I'm catching up. Hey, Visual, we've been kind of, yeah, I mean, this is the fastest growing vibe coding community on the internet right now, P Visual. I know that you're like kind of an OG, but it is cool to have, you know, that reference of, if you guys remember where we came from, it's like, hey, when I first started doing this, I mean, we had like 6, you know, and just the mission has gotten bigger. And I think that, hey, as long as you guys know that I'm not trying to monetize, like, I don't want to be a content creator. And that's one thing to note, just in the back of your mind, is I don't like content creation. And like most of the stuff that you see myself, you know, I'll make a YouTube video and whatnot, and it'll just be me talking organically and being my natural self, if that makes sense. And I don't like content creation, and that's just one thing that even as I've been doing this more, I just don't like it. And I don't want to be a content creator. I just want to be able to be myself, share my journey, share some of my thoughts, and be a part of the BridgeMind community, build the future, build the community. So I appreciate you guys. Okay, so WDN said, find the dumbest, cheapest model to achieve your goal. That's how our startup is going into 2026 as we scale AI tooling. The dumbest, cheapest model to achieve your goal. Let's go. All right, so that's going to be updated. So if we go here now, so you can see the tasks. So you can now change between knowledge and instructions. So this is decent. I don't really like the animation there. Okay, would you update the styling of the task modal to be a little bit more professional, compact, and not have any animations? Okay. All right, task modal. All right, so knowledge is important. Instructions are important. All right, so this one's now done. Okay. Yeah, this is looking good. How did you connect Warp workspace to your workspace in BridgeMind? What do you mean? Hey, W's in the chat. Let's go. All right, let's do a quick sub check. Where we at? Let's go. Last time we checked, we were at 22,000. Let's go. 22,421. Let's go, chat. You know how it is around here. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for the support. All right. So AMP code, I'm going to try this tomorrow. I'll make a video and put it out tomorrow. All right, this is a little bit more compact. Instructions. All right, I'm going to add in some. And this is the biggest problem is, hey, since auto-compact. Okay, I need you to review the task screen and the task modal in the task board screen in the BridgeMind Electron project. And I want you to update the task modal so that it parses the markdown, so that it actually processes it and shows a nice styling for it instead of just showing the raw markdown. In the instructions and in knowledge, it's formatted in markdown, so we may as well parse it and style it accordingly. All right. All right, also, now that we did add this, let's launch another agent. And I'm just gonna say, I need you to review the schemas of tasks and note that we added this new knowledge column. So I need the MCP tooling to make sure that and so this is how an MCP works is, you know, you have this BridgeMind MCP and the BridgeMind MCP has the tooling for this. I need you to make sure that the BridgeMind MCP has the tooling configured so that it's able to also, you know, add knowledge fields and that the agents know what this field is for. Note that the knowledge column and field is so that, you know, instructions are the instructions of the task and knowledge is the knowledge for the task. Okay, so where can I find your vibe coding workflow? Could you quickly tell us? I mean, yeah, I think that if you guys just watch the streams, you'll get the workflow. I probably do need at some point to make like a little bit more of like a video. It's just that I don't necessarily like that. But you know, my workflow is, hey, Claude Code's the best tool right now for vibe coding because you can launch so many agents at once. You can manage different windows. You can manage terminals. You can launch sub agents. You have skills. You have agents, you have all of these abilities that are so far ahead when you compare it with other tools like Codex, for example. It's just so much better. So, you know, that's definitely one thing to note. Also, guys, we're at 329 likes. I'm going to bust out another 30 bomb. So I'm going to catch up to you guys. I'm telling you, let's go. Bomb. Let's go. Let's go. What are we at? We are at 220. All right. So we have 329 likes. I'm gonna catch up to you guys. Let's go. Every like equals 1 push-up. Let's go. My voice is echoing. Hold on here. Is anybody else having that issue? Let me know. Oh, you had 2 tabs open. Okay, so it's updating the MCP, and I just want to show you guys like how MCPs work, and that is looking a little bit better there. Okay, this did do a good job. Review the breadcrumbs and make sure that you add breadcrumbs to this page. Also fix the spacing, as the spacing is just a little bit off. Let's go, chat. Let's go. Let's go, guys. How am I running so many agents in parallel when they conflict with each other in each other's work? Also, what's the value proposition of a sub-agent versus an agent within Claude Code? So the thing is an agent... So agents and sub-agents actually they work together. So I'll just kind of show you how this works. Let's open up BridgeMind real quick and just launch like a new workspace. So let's CD over to the BridgeMind project and let's launch Claude. And what I want to show you guys is let's go to agents, right? So if I launch agents, you can see that I have a couple different agents in here, okay? There's a couple built-in agents, but my project agents are BridgeMind Database Expert and Nest.js Security Auditor, okay? And these agents, I can enact these agents by just saying, for example, I'm going to say BridgeMind API, and I'm going to say, I want you to launch the Nest.js Security Auditor agent. And then this is what I'm going to add. This is how I'm going to show you how this works is actually launch 3 of them to review our API's security. And then using the BridgeMind MCP, I want you to create new tasks in the BridgeMind project that will fix any of these security vulnerabilities that you've identified. So we're going to use the BridgeMind MCP, and the BridgeMind MCP, just for reference, I can go over here, right? And here's my task list, here's everything, and we have MCP tools that you're able to work basically in a Trello board, Kanban board, but we just call it a task board because that's what it is, right? It's a task board. So we're going to launch this with Ultra Think. What you're going to see is it's not only going to be able to use those agents, but it's going to be able to launch 3 of them. And those are sub-agents. So it's launching 3 sub-agents that are Nest.js security auditors. And you're going to see this. So it says, I'll launch 3 Nest.js security auditor agents in parallel with different focus areas to maximize coverage. And also get the BridgeMind project list so I can create tasks for the vulnerabilities found. So watch this. So it's running 2 of them. It is going to launch 3, but it's launching those Nest.js security auditor agents. So you can see that they're all auditing different parts of the code base. So that's how that works. So, Beer Shaw, that's funny. Okay, so we need to be careful because I don't want that to get reset. But yeah, so this is now working, and I can just do this and easily open this up. I feel very good about this. Can I teach you how to have multiple tabs on Warp? Yeah, it's better context management for sure, yeah. Okay, so let's go over here. I'm gonna launch Warp real quick, and all right. So now we have this concept of knowledge, and I did touch on that a little bit earlier, but for these different tasks, you have instructions, which are basically your system prompt, but each task is going to need to have knowledge, right? And I think one of the most frustrating parts when you're doing agentic coding is when you get to the end of your window, right? Your context window, and it compacts, and then you lose a ton of that knowledge and that information. So what we're gonna be able to do is when we're creating tasks, we're not just gonna create instructions, but we're also gonna create knowledge, task-based knowledge. So what that looks like is when I open up BridgeMind IDE here, we're gonna be able to open this up, and when I launch this one, you're gonna see not only instructions, so here are, you know, the instructions for this, but we also can now see the knowledge, right? And so no knowledge has been captured because this is a completely new feature, so knowledge hasn't been filled yet. But one thing that I'll show you like right now is like, let's go here, right? And let's just copy this ID, right? And we're gonna go over to this here, and we're gonna launch Claude, and I'm just gonna drop in this ID, and I'm gonna do BridgeMind, hold on, let's do, I want you to launch and use the BridgeMind MCP. Hold on, not launch. Use the BridgeMind MCP and identify this task in the BridgeMind project, and I want you to add knowledge to this task's knowledge base. So this is actually kind of a quick test for us, okay? So use the BridgeMind MCP and identify this task in the BridgeMind project, and I want you to add knowledge to this task knowledge base, okay? So this is a test because we added this concept of knowledge, and what this is gonna be able to do is it's gonna be able to enact the BridgeMind MCP to, you know, go into that task. It's gonna grab that task. It found that task. It's about removing and securing the debug cookie endpoint, so it's able to go in there. And now what it's gonna be able to do is, instead of it actually completing the task, what it's gonna do is it's first gonna get knowledge on that task. So you can see that it's actually going in, and it's actually going and reviewing that implementation, because with this task, you're basically taking your knowledge that you're giving it, right? Like, let's say I want you to change the button to the color blue and make it look better, right? Well, the instructions that are created could end up being something a little bit more like specific, right? Like change the border radius to, you know, 13px or 15px, and change the color to this hex color, and it could just be a little bit more specific. And I think that when you have that background, and look, this is the knowledge that it's now creating. So let's go back over here and let's go to knowledge. Was it this? It was this one, right? Or which one was it? Hold on here. I guess it's still, is it still updating, or what's going on here? I think it's still updating, or the tool doesn't work yet. That's okay. So which one was it? It was, I've updated task with comprehensive knowledge. Okay, so I think that it actually just went in. Yeah, task knowledge. So this is the issue. So it did add task knowledge, but it added it in the instructions. So what I want to do is I want to say, oh, I didn't restart the MCP, did I? Do I need to restart the MCP? The new open code plan opening slots in 1 minute, a reminder. Yep, exactly. You put that knowledge in the instructions of the task. I wanted you to put it in the actual knowledge field. Would you try that again? I think we may need to update our, we may need to update this. Let's give it a second though. All right, let's hit some push-ups. Let's go. All right, 35 bomb, let's go. All right, so we are up to 255. We are currently at 350 likes, so I'm about 95 behind. I'll catch up though. Okay, so Blizzard said, for a beginner, this looks like some NASA shit to me, LOL. Can you give me some recommendations to be regular or consistent? Yeah, so, I mean, my biggest recommendations, and you can see here that this is now, like, if you guys remember, so this agent here, this was the one that was working with the security vulnerabilities. So what you guys are now seeing is this agent is now creating tasks using the BridgeMind MCP, and if we go into the task board now, like I can pull these up, and I can now see these, right? Now, one thing that we are working with is, hey, can we actually, yeah. So this is the issue, is that I think that our MCP needs to actually be updated. So hold on here. So where is the MCP? It's this one right here, okay. Okay, run start. Okay, where was that? Okay, so now what I can do, and this is pretty cool. So now I'm gonna launch Warp here. Actually, I don't need to launch Warp. I can actually use BridgeMind here. And I'm just gonna be able to launch this. And I'm gonna say, use the BridgeMind MCP to review the to-do task list. And I want you to launch as many agents as it takes to complete all outstanding tasks that are to-dos. There are a lot that are associated with security risks in the API, and I want you to launch an agent for each of these. Each agent should use the Nest.js security auditor agent so that it can update and patch the security vulnerability. I want you to launch an agent for each API related task in the to-do list in the BridgeMind project using the BridgeMind MCP. All right, so we're gonna launch an ultra thing for this, and this one's gonna launch a ton of agents. So you guys are gonna see what this does. So Curfew said, I thought he was gonna be in Florida for 2 weeks. Why did I miss? Yeah, so we've been off the grid, guys. I mean, I'll probably tell you guys the story, but it's like crazy. I mean, I literally like got all the way down there on this side quest, right? I had all these plans and we had technical difficulties. So what a shame, because that was, I mean, we have one stream from Florida and that's it. So I had to cut my trip early so that we could get back to BridgeMind HQ here and get back to streaming. But I think this is the longest that I went without streaming was like 3 days in like a long time. So, but we're back. It was a side quest, but we're back. The Vibeathon schedule is going to change a little bit just because, I mean, it's been very, very hectic for me. So it's going to change a little bit. We're going to reschedule it and we're going to make it good, guys. We're going to crush it. So appreciate you guys for bearing with me and for all your support because it's been a hectic week for me. So glad to be back though and glad to be working on a really exciting project. Okay, so he said you must do this or you'll spend a fortune. With Cursor, you don't have to do it as much because it compacts the information very well, but uses up more context retaining info. Yeah, NYX said sometimes delays are building blocks for something even greater. 100%. Let's go. I like that mindset, man. That's awesome. All right, so let's see here. So this has already been. Okay, so I think it needs to be added. Yes, review the BridgeMind MCP project and make sure that this field has been added. Before you do that, though, review the API in the database and confirm that everything is good to go. All right. Garfield said to start building a project, for example, I have the complete idea. What do you recommend? Do you do as you do now with many sub-agents? So the sub-agents are good. So for example, like I found 24 API security related tasks in to-do status in the BridgeMind project. Let me launch Nest.js security auditor agents in parallel to address each of these security vulnerabilities. And something I also want to do is I probably should, hold on, let's create another workspace real quick and let's go over to BridgeMind and let's just launch Claude. And I'm just going to launch BridgeMind API, BridgeMind MCP, BridgeMind Electron, database, and BridgeMind UI, and the BridgeMind web app. Use Git and push all changes for each of these projects to their respective branches. All right, very easy. All right, so this is launching a bunch of agents here. And again, we are using BridgeMind for this. Opus Max sounds like a hole in my pocket. Okay. So what was cool is that I was able to, create a task here. So everything looks good across the stack. Gotcha. Okay. All right, cool. All right, this is looking good. Let's go. Why am I calling so many? So it helps to be able to so for example, and this is one problem and thing that BridgeMind is able to do is with this MCP server, we're able to create a bunch of tasks, right? And I think that what the future is going to look like is you know, we're gonna be agent orchestrators, and you're gonna have to be able to orchestrate these agents in an intelligent way and know that, hey, sometimes modulation from the initial task is better. So you can see that this agent, all these tasks have now been moved to in progress. So we still have 3 to-dos, but we have all of these tasks, 23 tasks that are currently being worked on by this agent right here. And this one is literally able to use the BridgeMind MCP to actually go in and run all these tasks, and it has the instructions in the BridgeMind MCP right here, and we can kind of watch it as it completes. Now, our API did just go down. It's got an error, so it's clean right now, but we'll let that kind of reboot. Also, while it's doing that, while this one's working, we are running these right here. So these are all running. Let's let that run. And then also one thing that we're going to need to do is, all right, hold on here. So let's launch another Claude instance. And also with Gemini, didn't we install the Gemini? Didn't we install Gemini a minute like earlier? So Quan said, it seems to me like you are calling a bunch of agents, spinning all these wheels, costing a lot, but nothing is really happening. So here's the thing, is that I think that with agentic coding, you need to understand that, like, and this is one thing, like, even with the streaming, right? And this is very important. If you are a vibe coder, if you're an agentic coder, a lot of you guys know exactly what I'm doing right now. It just looks a little bit different. So if this is a new workflow to you and you've never seen this before, it may look like nothing's happening, right? Because I'm sitting here and I'm orchestrating all these agents, right? But I'll explain it to you. So for example, right now the API is down, so I can't show you this board. Actually, there it is, it's back. So these are all the tasks that are being worked on, right? And these tasks have instructions and they have knowledge. Now, right now, we just integrated knowledge, so it doesn't quite have that yet, but you can see here that these are the instructions, right? So location, package.js, known CVEs, multiple high severity vulnerabilities, independencies, and then it lists them out, right? And this is a task that needs to be solved, right? And these are all being worked on as we speak by this agent. It's running 23 agents to complete all these tasks. So it may not look like a bunch of stuff is happening, but look at this. These are all running right now, and you can go over to the workspace here, and again, API currently rendering in, but all those tasks are being worked on right here in this conversation. So that's one thing that this workflow may be a little bit foreign to you, but I think that as you get adjusted to it, it's actually very fun, and it's very enjoyable to do, and you can get really good at it too. So with that being said, let's actually launch the BridgeMind API, and let's launch the BridgeMind, actually let's launch the database. And what I want to do is I actually want to create a new task. Where is it? It was the Stripe subscription plan. I want you to review the API and the database and the subscription plan here, as well as the pricing page on the front end. And I want you to create a new task using the BridgeMind MCP. I want you to create a new task that has both instructions and a bunch of knowledge about configuring with Stripe. And I need you to create a task that is associated with creating the database schemas related to our subscriptions. I need you to launch 3 agents, some that will search the internet and documentation to identify the best practices with this. But what we need to do is we need to create a robust database architecture using Drizzle to be able to make sure that subscriptions are handled with the best practices for a scalable architecture. I first need you to launch 3 agents to review these code bases, and then to create a new task in the BridgeMind project using the BridgeMind MCP that has all the instructions and knowledge needed to complete this task. Okay, perfect. All right, let's hit some push-ups. Let's go. All right, 35, let's go. All right, we're up to 290. Let's get it. Why are there so many security faults? How did that happen? I mean, here's the thing, is that we just set up this project, and we're building out the security architecture for the project. So this isn't even launched. So when you first get started out, hey, the agents are gonna find a bunch of stuff, right? Like that's the first security audit that I did. So you could say like, hey, XYZ, but the thing is that, you know, what we'll find is that as you get further and further into the project, your security gets a little bit more tight. I'm not gonna launch the product until it's secure, but like, hey, we can go here and this is still on active subscription required. Hold on, so this one here, so we'll have to address that in a second. Yeah. I worked at 385 likes. I've done 290 push-ups. You guys are about still 95 ahead of me. Shoot, I'm gonna have to do some more. Let's move the desk up and let's knock it out. Let's go. Do I ever get rate limited on the max plan? I don't. With the 20x plan, you pretty much get like unlimited AI or close to it. Great work. I now need you to review. Okay, so there's another thing that I want to integrate, and remember, like, I'm basically just going to reverse engineer the way that I vibe code. You know, I've been vibe coding for 3 years now, and it's time for me to build my own vibe coding tool. So if you guys have seen, like, Vibe Kanban is what it's called. This is a very popular tool that people are using, Vibe Kanban. So this is like what I would say the next, I actually was checking this out, so it's very interesting. So I'm gonna like just give them a shout out. They have 14,000 stars on GitHub. But Vibe Kanban.
I'm Louis. You probably heard.
So they basically have like something similar where they pretty much have a Kanban board, right? And it's a very, I mean, this idea is very simple, which is, hey, instead of having, you know, just agents that are running, right? You instead kind of create a task management system. It's like it's not a very original idea. Like this is a very like obvious thing, right? Like it's like, oh, that's the next layer is that you're gonna have these agents that are able to be managing all these tasks in a task board. Very obvious, right? And I think that like this is one thing definitely about just agentic coding and with vibe coding in general is that you guys are gonna see continuations of people building products that are, you know, a step forward. Now, I think that Vibe Kanban, it's good. Also, you know, there's other stuff out there that people are doing that, you know, uses that same approach. I think it's a good approach, and I'm excited to build my own tool for it. And I think I'll be able to do a pretty good job just based off of the pre-existing knowledge I have from the past 3 years of vibe coding pretty much every day. So, okay, great work. I now need you to review the database and the API, and I want you to think in depth about a new concept of project-based agents. So for each project, users should be able to create agents specific to each project. I need you to review the database and the API and think in depth about what the architecture of that schema should look like. Right now, we want to make sure that it is as simple as possible to start for our MVP. We don't need some super complicated table. We need something that is very simple that gets the job done. So agents should be connected to projects, and I should be able to create agents, and really agents should just have a singular column. I don't know what it should be called. Maybe it should be called, I don't know, what does Claude Code even call it? Instructions? What's it called? Like if we launch, okay, so there's a lot of these agents that are still working here. So let's go here. Let's go to agents. So create new agent. What do they even call it? Project, generate with Claude. That's fine. Let's do manual. Enter a unique identifier, blah, blah, blah. Okay, enter the system prompt. Let's just call it symptom. Review it all in depth and come up with a solution. All right, cool. Okay, Cross said, I recommend start letting the AI give you the prompt the AI to give the prompt you're wanting, cite your references. Yeah, 100%. I think that that's like Also, a big thing that we are addressing in terms of just like, hey, and our API is still down. Active subscription required. I didn't want that yet integrated. So, it definitely, one of the security agents patched that, so you would have to have that. What does that mean? Computing escape to interrupt. You can stop it. So if you do escape, it's going to be able to stop the agent from running any further. Okay, we're at 399 likes. We're 1 like away from 400 likes. Appreciate you guys. Like I said, for every like that we get, it's +1 push-ups. Right now, we're at 290 push-ups. Let's hit some push-ups, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, chat. All right. What's that, 30? All right, we're up to 320. I'm going to catch you guys. I'm only 80 away. Let's go. Okay. Okay, so what I'm not including in the MVP. Okay, so agents, ID, project ID, name, system prompt. That's perfect. Let's go. That schema looks perfect. I want you to add it to the database. Add it to the API, also generate migrations and run migrations in the database respectively. Also think. Let's go, chat. All right, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. Before I go, let's do a quick sub check. We are at 22,450. If you guys have not already liked, subscribed, or joined the Discord, make sure you do so. Let's go. I'll be right back, guys. All right, we're back, chat. Let's go. Let's go. We're back. What did I miss? Okay, so we still have 12 of 25 security agents that are working. This one is running schemas, generations, migrations. Okay, cool. All right, active subscription required. I do want to remove that. That was not done purposefully. Also, we're up to 406 likes. So let's knock out a 30 bomb. Let's go. All right, 30 bomb. Let's go. All right, we're up to 350. So I'm only 56 away from you guys. Do I have some quad code tips? How many sub agents should I use? So, I mean, really you should be careful with sub agents because they will use a lot of usage. I mean, like I've been using quad code all day, right? So let's just check my usage, right? So 27% used for this session, 17% used for the week. My week resets. I mean, my week does reset like on what, Thursdays? So I've used a decent amount of usage today, 17%, and it's because like I'm launching 25 security agents at once, right? So sub agents can really tax your usage, so you want to be careful with them. Kim asked, what editor is this? VS Code with Claude? No. So this is actually the BridgeMind IDE. So this is what we're working on. You guys, I'm working on a couple things, so I can't really necessarily show it to you right now. The API is down, but this is actually the BridgeMind IDE, and this is the products that we're building. So what's cool is that we get to build the BridgeMind IDE using BridgeMind itself. And you know, we've built View Creator. If you guys are unfamiliar with View Creator, that's what we've been building up in this journey. That's what's driving our revenue. So it's close to 1,000 MRR, $1,000 a month. And what you can see here is, you know, it's a way for you to automate virality on social media. So like one of the reasons that BridgeMind does so well is because it's backed fully by the View Creator virality engine. So for example, I can go to agents here and go to BridgeMind agent. And what you can see is that 6 times a day, this agent wakes up and runs and is able to post for me with me not having to do anything. So it's able to go into a content bank. So if I go to profiles here and go to BridgeMind content bank, it goes in my content bank, it takes out one of these videos and it posts it, and this generates about 50,000 views every 24 to 48 hours. So it's very, very good for me to be able to generate a bunch of traffic and to go viral on social media. So it's a virality engine. That's why BridgeMind has been so successful in large part, is because it's backed fully by the virality engine of View Creator. And with BridgeMind, what we're building is we're now building an agentic coding tool, a vibe coding tool to help us further our development efforts. And that's going to be our main mission for the next couple streams. We're also working on View Creator. Like if I go over here right now, this needs to be fixed because it's saying active subscription required. So let me fix this real quick. Let's just launch another agent real quick. So hold on. Let's launch this. Open up a new pane. And hold on here. All right, so let's do Claude. And I'm going to add, I think our this is using a lot of memory right now. Okay. So let's go to BridgeMind Electron. Oops. Okay, so I'm seeing this active subscription service temporarily circuit breaker open. Okay, we're gonna have to fix that. This should not yet be requiring an active subscription. I need you to review the API, as well as the database, as well as the BridgeMind Electron app. So I do want to create a subscription guard because some of our routes will be protected by a subscription and what subscription the user does have, but we do not yet want to integrate that logic. So review why active subscription required is showing up on the task board page and fix it so that this is actually not required. Make sure that there is a subscription guard in the Nest.js application, but don't put it on any routes yet. All right, I'm gonna do ultrathink as well. Okay. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I've been noticing a lot more tables from Claude Code. Just a UI there. Yeah, this will come together. You guys will see. I mean, we just got started on this project, so. Yeah, so Robin said you like this more than Warp. So, you know, we just started building this, and what we're going to be able to do is we're going to build a vibe coding tool, right? And we're going to take the knowledge that we have with vibe coding and agentic coding, and we're going to be able to reverse engineer everything. And we're going to be able to build a product that people can use to be better agentic coders or vibe coders. So you can see now I've basically already fully transitioned from using Warp to using BridgeMind. Now this is not, you guys can't use this yet, but you will in the coming weeks. So I'm excited for you guys to try it. And I'm excited. Yeah. So let's go over here. So we do have this active subscription required. It shouldn't be required. So like this here, I don't know why this is stuck. Let's actually escape this real quick. So I do want to, hold on, I'm gonna copy this and I'm just going to escape. And let's launch quad again. Also, let's do a quick sub check. If you guys are watching, have not already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. We are up to 22,464 subs, and for every like, I do a push-up. So if you haven't already liked the stream, make sure you do so. Let's drop this prompt in now. All right, this is working on Drizzle. I have not started Spider-Man, no. Opus specifically is more conversational and is quick to automatically make documents and tables, sketches, etc. Cross says that Claude has been doing much more tables and Sonnet has been doing the list convert conversations similar to OpenAI lately for him. Okay, interesting. Am I going to do an alpha or beta test before deploying it out? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think that we'll do an alpha beta test. We could end up open sourcing it. I'm not sure what I'll do. But I mean, yeah, obviously I'm kind of just transitioning to this for my workflow. Big thing is just going to be like Vibe Kanban is big. That's like a big player in the space of, you know, it's backed by, I think like the founder of, what is it? I think it's some big company. But they've basically taken a similar approach where, let me see, it's this guy, Luke Harry's growth lead at 11 Labs. So it's this guy. I mean, I guess that's a, but yeah, so here's what Vibe Kanban is. I think it's a good, a lot of people are doing this. This is like nothing special. I think that there's a couple things I'm not a big fan of with this. Like, yeah, there's a couple good things, but I think that we can do it better. So let's go over here. That's still active. Yeah, Gino, I think that's a good point. Yeah, I'd like to create a good UI. For now, the terminals, I actually like the terminals personally, but more to come on that. All right, so is that now fixed? Okay, perfect. All right, nice. So now you guys can actually see what this is. So you can see, what even is this? Need regression test to prevent future terminal clearing bugs, switch workspace, and verify terminal remains. Okay, so I already did this. So I'm gonna move this to complete. Okay, agent response. So this one's creating agents. So here in a second, we're not just gonna have task board, but we'll also have agents configured. So we'll be able to create agents inside of BridgeMind. All right. All right, let's move the desk up. We're at 430 likes. I'm at 350 push-ups. So you guys are about 80 ahead of me. I'm gonna catch up though. This one is working, so that did fix our issue. Let's see here, what's happening in this one? This one's been working for 19 minutes. It's like glitching out. That sometimes happens with Cloud Code. Create agents controller, JBT plus MCP, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I don't really know much about Automaker. I had Web Dev Cody come on, and I use it for a bit. It's a cool project. I don't really know anything about it, though, other than when I use it for, like, I don't know, 20 minutes. But I'm just getting started on this project. I'm just going to reverse engineer my workflow. I don't really want to look at a bunch of other examples. I know that there's a lot of like vibe coding tools out there. I just want to do it based on what I want and what I think is good. All right. So this is main. Workspace 2. WDan said, do you have the outer collection markdown rendering raw for a reason right now? I don't think it's meant to render raw. Hold on, there's an error right now. Wait, what are you talking about, W Dan? Where? Okay, Mr. Gustilia said feature request when opening a new tab, add that it's able to clone the main repo, so per page we can do multiple works at the same time. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I think what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to just reverse engineer my existing vibe coding workflow. I'm not really like looking at... I want to be careful, because one thing I will say is that I am like not going to get caught up in a bunch of different features. I am solely like going to reverse engineer my vibe coding workflow. I'm not looking at any other projects. I know that there are other things out there that are good references of like, oh, this is cool, that Vibe Kanban is doing this. I think it's a good approach. But I want to build something that I'm passionate about. That's, I think, what I talk about a lot is just that, hey, when people are talking about, hey, I want to do this or I want to do that, like definitely consider like, hey, what are you passionate about and what vision do you have for whatever you're building? That's how I kind of go. I don't really like to look at what a bunch of, like, I don't want to get a bunch of features that aren't needed. I want to get the product out. I want to start generating revenue from it. And I want to build a vibe coding tool that I can use so I'm not dependent on Warp, Cursor, all these other vibe coding tools. I want to build something for me that I think is useful and will impact the market in a good way. So let's pull up Warp here and let's go to what is causing this. So it expires in, so it's this here. I think that we just need to run. Okay, let's pull this back up. I think it's this here, because I think this agent will fix it. On the Kanban view at the card level. Oh, yeah, well, I have an API error right now. There's a circuit breaker open, so once that fixed, WDM, we'll take a look at it. But I do think that I thought that it is rendering. It's parsing it. Is that what you're saying, or what do you mean? Also, guys, we're up to 440 likes, so let me, like I said, we're doing every like equals 1 push-up, so let me knock out a 30 bomb. We're at 350. Let's get to 380. All right, 30 bomb. Let's go. Okay. All right, I think this agent is just having... Is it doing any more work, or is it stuck? I can see that it generated a migration. How did I find security issues and vulnerabilities on your project with vibe coding? You can do like really big in-depth scans. I think AI is great for being able to identify vulnerabilities. Let's pull this up. Okay. Okay. So we're still having this issue. It's called npm. Okay, yeah. I am having these issues. I need you to fix them in the API. This is my third startup studio. That's my third startup. Okay. How do I set up multiple Claude instances? You can just launch Claude in the same project. It's very simple. All right, these security tasks are almost done. It's giving us that. Oh, don't like that. Yeah, so we do have like themes here. Midnight School. Okay, active subscription required. Is GLM 4.0? So I'm using Opus 4.5. I mean, GLM 4.7 is good. If we launch another workspace and CD over into BridgeMind again, I mean, here's my perspective is like we can launch OpenCode, right? And what I'll say is that like, hey, you can launch OpenCode and you can go to models and you can see like GLM 4.7 right here, you can use it, right? And it's free, which is great. And I think a lot of people are saying that it's fast. Somebody, I think WDN said that it's like, on Cerebras, it's like 1,000 tokens per second, which is like very, very fast. So that's definitely one thing to consider. But honestly, I mean, I'm at the point where it's like, hey, for me, if I'm using Opus 4.5, there is nothing else that I really should be using. It makes most sense to just use that, right? And not really worry about anything else. Okay, let's go. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so WDN just dropped this in. Thank you. I already was at this page earlier, but so this came out yesterday. So GLM 4.7 Frontier Intelligence at record speed, now available on Cerebras. So GLM 4.7 from ZAI is live on Cerebras at 1,000 tokens per second, which, just for reference, that's 5 times faster than Composer 1. I mean, 1,000 tokens per second is basically instant. So, I mean, I don't even know how to use it on Cerebras. Record speed. I mean, how did they even get that? That's insane. It's literally 10x faster. That's insane. It's the strongest open model Cerebras has deployed to date. That's nuts. The world's fastest inference, 20 times faster than OpenAI and Anthropic. Send up to 120 million tokens a day. That's actually not that much. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Okay, did we fix this yet? I'm getting that active subscription required error again. Fix that again. OpenCode does support Cerebras, really? Yeah, inference maxing, yeah. I think OpenCode works with Cerebras. We're building BridgeMind right now. But we've built ViewCreator, which is at viewcreator.ai. That's what's, that's where our revenue's at right now. Okay, so I do just do what, connect to a provider, and then I can do Cerebras, yeah. I mean, is it worth trying? Does anybody in chat know if this is worth trying? Because if I have an OpenAI, I mean, I feel like it's worth. Cerebras, now you're cooking with gas. All right, let me try this. All right, I'm just gonna try it for free. I'm gonna do free and just try it. All right, give me a second. I'm gonna get this real quick. Okay. So all right, they are gonna need my money, so let's let this work. I'm gonna go grab my wallet real quick so that they can take my money. You guys cool with that? I'll be right back. I just need to we're gonna use this, we're gonna try this out. So apparently in Cerebras you can connect it to OpenCode. It's 1,000 tokens per second it's literally 1,000 tokens per second with GLM 4.7, and GLM 4.7 is so I want to try this on stream. Let me go just grab my wallet real quick so that they can take my money. I'll be right back. Guys, money, they are going to take my money, but it's okay. So for those of you that are just joining us, we are going to try GLM 4.7 inside of Cerebras because it's literally 1,000 tokens per second, which is like, that is, I mean, if that's legit, that is like nuts. That is insane. So I definitely want to try that out. Yeah, Opus 5 will be crazy for sure. All right, give me a second here. All right. Hold on, let me, where's the camera at? Okay, we're good. All right, they are taking my money. It's okay. That's what we got the business card for though, right? Okay. Okay, so we're gonna configure this with Cerebras for now. Let's check out the Kanban board. Is that now working? Okay, perfect. Okay, so here's our Kanban board. Also, WDN, what were you looking at? Because this is styled now. So we have knowledge, styling here. Okay, let me get this in. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna deposit $10 here. All right, $10. All right, so we are gonna use GLM 4.7 with Cerebras inside of OpenCode. I just need to get my API key real quick, and we're also gonna be using all of this inside the new BridgeMind IDE. As you guys know, this is the project we're working on. It's an IDE, it's a tool, vibe coding tool that you guys are gonna be able to use. So let's go here. This looks good. Okay. Great work. Make sure that there is no... Okay, perfect. Okay, we're good. Uh-oh. What just happened? All right, hold on here. All right, so I do have my API key, so I'm not going to share it today, maybe another day. But let me go to Cerebras. I'm going to go to Connect. And let's go to Cerebras. And I'm going to enter my API key. And okay. All right, so I'm going to show this to you guys. So once you enter your API key on Cerebras, you have the option to choose between Qwen, GPT OSS, GLM 4.6, or GLM 4.7. We are going to choose GLM 4.7. So this is GLM 4.7 in Cerebras. So the big question is, hey, can this actually go at 1,000 tokens per second? So just as kind of like a precursor, this is what they're claiming, 1,000 tokens per second. I mean, GLM 4.7 is good. GLM 4.7 is, 1,000 tokens per second is godly. So let's just try it out. So BridgeMind API, BridgeMind MCP, BridgeMind, let's go to database. I want you to review all three of these code bases, and I want you to make sure that the BridgeMind MCP has been updated with tooling so that users are able to create agents, update agents, and also utilize agents, through the MCP using these tools. Review the code base for reference, and then update the BridgeMind MCP accordingly with new tools that hook up to the API respectively. Okay. Instead of immediately coding the implementation, I want you to create tasks using the BridgeMind MCP. I want you to create tasks in the BridgeMind project that have all the instructions and knowledge needed for each task to make sure that we do this properly. Each task should be modulated accordingly. All right. All right, let's go. All right, so let's see how, oh my gosh. Oh shoot. It is fast. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is like crack. Not that I've ever done that. All right, so wow. So it already created 4 tasks. That's nuts. Look at this, guys. What the heck? All right, but it didn't, okay, it did knowledge, but it didn't do any instructions. Create agent to implement, create agent tool. Oh, interesting. Okay, so that did it really fast. So I used 30,000 tokens. Great work. I now need you to do and complete each task one by one. All right. Nah, I'm not really worried about giving my whole, you know, I don't think it's, you're not feeding anything. Okay, so this is cooking. So this is GLM 4.7 using Cerebras. Apparently it's 1,000 tokens per minute limit exceeded. What is up with that? Okay, so this, I don't know about how I feel about that. Do you guys see this? So I hit tokens per limit. Tokens limit. Yeah, it's fast, but we just got rate limited. So, I mean, I guess we gotta wait 20 seconds. Is this just because I don't have a plan with open code? I mean, I thought it was open source. I thought we could get it for free. What's up with that? Open code rate limiting. Let me see here. What's up with this? Also, guys, we have 297 people watching. If you guys are watching and have not already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. For every like that we get, I'm doing 100 push-ups. Just kidding. 1 push-up. Okay, I've added the update agent tool. Okay, so it's fast, but I keep hitting the tokens limit. Yeah, I am not happy about that. Am I getting, what level am I getting rate limited at? AC Han said classic open code experience. Yeah. I mean, I was excited to use Cerebras. Do I need to do an override and use it in something else? Is this just an open code deal? Yeah. I mean, how can I connect open? Open code may not be the move, but could I use cursor with it? Could I configure? Is it possible to configure Cerebras with cursor? How would I do that? I have a Cerebras OpenAI key or API key. Does anybody know the answer to this? Yeah. I mean, it's a ton of tokens. It's just that open code is you get rate limited with open code apparently. I didn't know that was a thing. I mean, that's fine. We'll figure out what to do, but let's open up BridgeMind, and I mean, it did finish it. 4 tasks completed successfully. So if we go back to our board here, they're all done. So I mean, it did finish it. Yeah, 1,000 tokens a second is insanely fast. It's just that you're gonna get rate limited. So it finished after 2 minutes, which honestly is faster than you would if you were just doing it outright. But the thing is how can I not get rate limited? I don't want to be rate limited. But like, for example, how do we? Let's just take this as an example. Let's do at BridgeMind UI and paste in this error. Fix this error that I see in the UI. Use it in Claude Code. Like, let's see how fast this goes, right? Boom. Done. I mean, that's very fast. So let's now open it back up. Refresh. Okay, so by overriding the base URL. So what do I override the base URL? Okay, so I override the base URL with this. Okay, give me a second. We're gonna get this working in Cursor. I would rather use it in Cursor than in Claude Code, honestly. So let's go to Cursor settings. Let's go down to models. Let's zoom out just a little bit. So let's go to API keys, and we can now override the OpenAI base URL. We'll drop this in. So API.Cerebras v1, here it is. If you guys want to also try out Cerebras, and then I am going to drop in my API key. I'm not going to share it with all of you guys today, maybe another day. I only have 10 bucks in there anyway, so I don't know if that would be very exciting for you guys, but okay. Let's go. Where did that page go? I have way too many tabs open. Okay. API keys, generate, cursor. Okay. All right, so I do have this. Give me 1 second. Drop this in. Okay. Enable OpenAI key. So then, what do I need to do to use this? So I have it set up. So the question now is, how do I make it so that it's... Okay, I just did that, but now what do I set as the model name? Okay, hold up. WDan just shared something. The trip was rough, Neek. It was a failed side quest. We had technical difficulties, had to come back, but it's all right. You live and you learn. Okay. Speed plus errors is an illusion. All right, hold on here. All right, so this is what WDan just shared. Perfect. Okay. Oh, okay. All right, so Dan just dropped this in for reference. So apparently, are we getting rate limited on Cerebras and not... So ZAI GLM 4.7. So let's try this. Hold on. Let's delete this one. Add custom model. So it's going to be ZAI GLM 4.7. Add, enable, and then let's launch a new agent. I was getting rate limited using OpenCode earlier though, so let's try it. Can we go back here and refresh? Hold up. Let me get over here. Okay. Also, guys, we have 292 people watching. If you guys are watching and have not already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. For every like that we get, I'm going to do +1 push-ups. I've already done 380. I have 110 to go. Okay, let's just drop all the context in here and pass it in. So let's go here. Fix this error. Perfect. Okay, that works. So this is using Cerebras. So it's 1,000 tokens per second. It did fix that. That looks good. I don't think it can take in images though. Review the spacing and the margins inside of the Pro. I don't like how it says 7-day free trial twice. You can remove that in the Pro section. NVIDIA bought Cerebras? I didn't know that. Wow, very fast. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's fast. Okay, well let's keep trying it out. So like I can open up this project here and so this is one thing that we were working on earlier and it looks terrible. So we need to fix it now. Okay, so do you guys see how I just opened up this, I opened this up and you see how the files, oh, I can't, that's the issue is that I can't drop in screenshots. So we'll just drop in BridgeMind Electron. I need you to review this application, specifically the logic of opening a project, and I need you to make sure that the sidebar of the file tree is adjustable and there should be a button to be able to close it or collapse it or open it respectively, and it should be larger. Right now it's super small and compact. Review the styling of this and fix it. Now, one issue with this, I think that we're good. We're going to start to update a little bit with this. I'm pretty sure that GLM 4.7, like one thing about this model is they say that it's really good at styling. So let's go over here and we're going to see this get updated very quickly. So you can see adjustability coming in. Now we got a black screen. Oh, okay. So encountered an issue. I mean, that's the downside. I think we're getting rate limited or something's happening. But yeah, I mean, that's an issue of using something like that, you know, is that stuff like that is going to happen. So let's now go back over to Warp and let's just drop this into a Warp terminal. Let's open this up, launch Claude, BridgeMind Electron. So I will say, yes, probably a good tool. It's fast, but I mean, hey, it can be fast, but if you get rate limited after 2 prompts, it's not even worth using it. Crazy said that buy GLM directly from ZAI, it's cheaper. Well, the reason that we were using it in Cerebrus is for the speed, not the cost. I mean, GLM 4.7, I'm not worried about the GLM 4.7 upcharge on Cerebrus. I mean, it's not that much. GLM 4.7 is an inherently super cheap model, so I'm not necessarily worried about the price. I was more interested in, hey, is this going to be a fast and cheap model? And no, you're going to get rate limited very quickly. We got rate limited on OpenCode, and we got rate limited when we hooked it up with Cursor. So it's not an issue that we're doing; it's an issue with Cerebrus. And yes, they may be getting it at 1,000 tokens per second, but it's getting like super rate limited, so it's not even worth it. But that's okay. So now what we'll focus on is, first of all, this. I think we're going to have to restart this. But let's let this agent work. Let's launch Claude. BridgeMind API. BridgeMind database. Or no, it's just database. And then subscriptions. Do we have any schemas yet for our subscriptions? All right, guys, we're up to 498 likes. Let's get to 500. Also, I'm going to bang out some push-ups. I'm only at 380, so I got to catch up with you guys. You guys are crushing it. Let's go. Thank you for all the support. Let's do a quick sub check also. Where are we at? Let's see. We are at... Hold on here. All right, we're at 22,493 subscribers. Let's get to 22,500, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's hit some push-ups. Let's go, 30 bomb. All right, we're up to 410. Man, I don't know if this stream is ever gonna end at this rate. That's crazy. Somebody just asked 1,000 tokens is why. I mean, it goes fast. I don't know about 1,000 tokens. It goes so fast, but then you just hit the rate limits and it's over, right? So it's like, I don't know if we'll get to the cold plunge today. We'll play it by ear. Right now we gotta focus on the push-ups. Okay. Let's go here and what error are we getting? Well, we got this error because GLM 4.7 created this error for us, and then it I mean, yeah, it literally it botched. It botched. Fix this error. You need an organization on Cerebrus for increased rate limits? Okay. Okay, user table fields. Okay. All right, so let's get BridgeMind back up and running. Cache subscription state. Okay, so the API currently fetches subscription data from the Stripe API. There's no local cache. Recommends creating proper subscriptions. Yes, I want you to launch 2 more agents that are going to be able to review the code base and make the plan more robust. And note this, I want a best practice implementation, but I also don't want a bunch of unnecessary fields that end up not getting used or add a bunch of overhead. I want a simple approach that follows best practices that will allow us to have this subscription system with Stripe. I need you to launch these agents to review the existing code base. They can search the internet for best practices, and they can update the implementation plan, the Stripe subscription plan, with the phases of what we need to do and the different tasks that need to be done to complete this. All right. I'm going to put an ultra think on this as well. Quan said I don't need 1,000 tokens per second. I'll just change my email when I hit the token limit on the free plan or use a different model. Alright. I mean, I think that 1,000 tokens is good, but hey, if you hit the rate limit after like 2 seconds, then it doesn't even matter, right? So let's try, I mean, did this get fixed, by the way? Still not fixed. Hold on, let's just restart this. I mean, let's let this one work and then we'll restart. Yeah, you guys are crushing on the likes. I'm gonna need to hit another set. We're at 506 likes. You guys are 96 likes ahead of me. I gotta catch up. Or not 96, sorry, math is hard. 94, let's go. Oh my gosh, I'm starting to get like fatigued. I only did 25. All right, we're up to 435. I'm gonna catch up to you guys. You guys are only at 510. I can definitely catch up to that. Let's go. Let's go, chat. All right, what am I building? So you can check the description, but right now, you guys are about to see it, but we are building an agentic tooling system, IDE, whatever you wanna call it. I basically reverse engineering my vibe coding workflow so that I can have a product that I use that I'm not dependent on anybody else, and I can use my own agentic coding tool. But what I've built is View Creator. You can check the description, go to viewcreator.ai. Has several thousand users generating $1,000 MRR, close to it. And that is the virality engine behind BridgeMind. All right. Thank you, Neek. Also, big shout out to our mod team. Shout out to Linux. Shout out to Neek. Shout out to Carter Sora. Couldn't do it without you guys. Thank you. I'm going to give a quick shout out as well to newly joined members of our Discord. So we're only 6 members away from 2,800 members. So if you guys have not already joined the Discord, make sure you do so. We're only 6 members away from 2,800. Big shout out to Anthony, Zahid, Vu, WineTX, Jeffa Mazan, Asan, Marcos, Gray the 7th, Legendary, Crossy, Jupter, Lucas, Deepan, Ha, Will N, Min H, The Chib, Rohan. Shout out to you guys. Welcome to the community. I'm happy that you guys are here. Let's go. What are we building now? So we're building a vibe coding tool, Imperium, as we discussed. We're building an agentic tooling system, BridgeMind, and you guys are gonna be able to see it in a second. We've been working on it all day, but we've been significantly improving that system and that workflow. Yeah, thanks, Linux. What playlist do I listen to? Let me see. Okay, I got it right here. All right, I'm about to drop it in the chat. All right, let's see here. So these two are updating. I definitely do want to get like some sort of onboarding system today. Also, we just passed 22,500. Thank you guys, appreciate it. So let's go to localhost. So here's the website. This has not yet been updated. So we're gonna have a $0 plan that's just gonna be free to get started. And don't worry about this. This is just nonsense for now. AI made this. So full access to the complete vibe coding experience. Start for 7-day free trial. So I think that just from my experience, what I may want to adjust is I actually may want to make it so that instead of users going through the sign up process, we are using Cognito, which does make things a lot simpler. With View Creator, we have a custom auth system, which can be, there's some good things and some drawbacks to having a custom built auth system. When you're ruling your own auth, it makes it a little bit so you're more flexible, but also you aren't ruling your own auth. So or you are ruling your own auth, so it can be a little bit more prone to security vulnerabilities. It can be a little bit harder to manage. You have to build it from scratch, and there are good things about that, but there's also some drawbacks. Yeah, you'll be able to run it on Windows. Yeah, Imperium. I think we're gonna reschedule the Vibeathon. I don't have dates yet, but because the Florida situation ended up being a little bit hectic for me, we are going to reschedule the event. I'm not sure yet what those dates are, so if you are working on the Vibeathon, it's no worries. You're gonna be able to submit that. Submissions, I can't give any dates yet just because we had this whole excursion and it went a little bit sideways, so we had to kind of take a step back, and we're gonna reschedule the event. I don't have the exact dates for you yet, but that's still definitely on the calendar. I just don't have the exact dates for it, but we are back at BridgeMind HQ. Let's go. Excited to see what you guys create. Okay, so let's see. Is this fixed now? Let's restart. Let's go to npm here. Restart this. Restarting Electron app. Sign in with the browser. What's going on here? Okay, let's fix this. All right. Review the error that I got on this page and fix it. Thank you, Imperium. I appreciate it, man. I had technical difficulties in Florida, so not too big of a deal. It's been a little bit of a hectic start to the new year for me. I was super sick, and then Florida didn't go the way that I wanted it to. The stream crashed on the first day, and then I couldn't get it back. So I was it's crazy because I was I think I'm gonna have to get back to. I think I'm gonna have to get back to BridgeMind HQ. But it's all good. You live and you learn. Things sometimes don't go the way that you expected or that you wanted to, and that's okay. We're gonna adjust. We're gonna reschedule, and we're gonna figure out the path forward. With that said, I'm just super excited about what this year is gonna hold for us. It just wasn't the best start to the year, but that's okay. How's my 2026 been? Like I said, yeah, I was super sick to start the year, so a little bit of a challenge, but that's all right. Get through everything. It's all good. All right, so right now, we need to make it so that I was getting this error. It's a CSRF token missing error. What are the AI costs so far for this project? I spent about, so it was $600 a month, but my AI costs are going down because costs for AI models are going down. So for example, I used to have to spend about $600 a month, but now I only spend $280 a month is the budget for my AI, which still is a lot, but it got cut in half. And I think that there's something to be said about that. I think that for everybody that's, talking about AI being a bubble, note that it actually, went down, which is very, very interesting. Okay. All right, also let's knock out some push-ups. We've got 526 likes, and I am currently at 435, so I'm gonna knock out another 30. Oh my gosh. I'm getting fatigued. You guys are crushing it with the push-ups. All right, I'm getting close. All right, let's go. Okay. Let's see this work now. All right, perfect. So open Electron. Here's BridgeMind. We'll go here. Invalid token. Why am I getting this now? All right, let's go to NPM. Is there any errors that we're seeing here? What's the maximum likes record? I think it's like 2,000. 2,000, I think. Yeah. Yeah, the 280 is much more manageable. 600 was a lot. 600 was definitely a lot, but it's come down, so it's nice to see it come down. Okay. All right. So here, BridgeMind. I want to try opening this. Okay, that looks a lot better. So this is actually what we were working on. So when you open up a project, you know, here is the BridgeMind project, okay? So for example, here is the agents MD file, and that looks pretty good. You can update all this. Let's see here, source. I feel good about that. Looks decent. Okay. What about assets? Hold on. Source. Here. Okay. All right. Also, this background is not. So I want to report a couple things. I'm actually going to save this because there's a couple different things I want to do here. Okay, so the first one is Claude, and then, oops. All right, BridgeMind Electron. The background of the area where you're editing the files is not on theme. It does not properly adjust to the theme that's been selected. Would you make sure that you update the styling so that this background that's displaying either the code or the content of what's in the file is does properly adjust to the theme that the user has selected? Right now it's not. Okay, that's the first request. And this is why it's good to be able to launch, you know, a bunch of agents at once. Let's throw an UltraThink on it, and then let's launch another agent and launch Claude here. Also here, okay, so I'm gonna launch Claude again. Okay, it's already launched. Okay, so I'm gonna drop this back in. I want you to review the look here. Make it so that I can drag and drop files into that top system where I can select between. Right now I can't drag to that tab, if that makes sense. I open them by just clicking on them. I wanna also be able to drag them. I think that'll be able to, like, for example, I'm able to review the files in the file selector on the left side in that sidebar, and then I can grab a file, drag it to that tab. Okay, so we have 3 agents working. Okay, this agent here, I want to be careful with this because subscriptions can be messy. Let's move this here because it's asking me a bunch of questions. Okay, so 20 columns across 2 tables, 10 columns in 1 table. Okay, nice. Okay, literally remove the script subscription events later. Skip for MVP, add later. Quick question, are you creating a subscriptions table or no? Just Relax said, hi Matthew, long time no see. Congrats on the insane growth. Thank you, man. All right, let's hit some push-ups, guys. We're at 465. We've got 540 likes. I am going to catch you guys. I'm going to drop out 25. Okay, I will say they are getting harder. All right, but I'm only 50 away from you guys now, though, so I'm catching up. Okay. All right, user subscription caches. All right, so user ID, Stripe subscription ID, Stripe customer ID, status, price ID. I've got the max, the 20x plan from Claude. Okay, so user subscriptions. Are you making any updates to the user table in this update? I don't think that paid traffic is that great, to be honest with you, unless you have like a super viral video. I think that organic videos are usually good. Okay, we're not adding any new columns to the database. Okay, to the users table. Okay, let's see here. So let's open up our multi-agents over here. So these 3 agents are still working. I'm making BridgeMind right now. I'm working on BridgeMind, but I've created View Creator, which is a virality engine. You can check it out at viewcreator.ai. We're getting close to hitting 1,000 MRR. And yeah, I mean, that's the main revenue driver right now. Also, we're at 490. Likes are at 550. I'm going to bust out another 20. Let's go while these agents are working. All right, 20. All right, up to 510. All right. Okay. All right, so we restarted here, I think. Okay. Open Electron. Invalid token. Still getting that error. That's fine. Resent here. So I can go here, just open up like enums, and then kind of drag this. There we go. Let's go. Let's go, chat. All right, this is awesome. Okay. The BridgeMind IDE. Zelto, we're at 510, so I'm not too far off. I'm not too far off. I'm about to catch up to you guys. All right, this looks good. I'm assuming that I can actually edit this. Cool. What if I like do a syntax error? Okay. I don't know how I feel about all that, but we'll be able to fix it. What is this? Okay, this is the one that's doing that. Let's bust out another 25. These agents are working. This one here, great. Now I need you to improve that left sidebar so I'm able to rename files respectively. I've done 510 push-ups so far. I'm catching up to you guys. I'm about to bust out another 20. Let's go. Let's go, 530. I'm only like 25 away from you guys now. All right, let's go. All right. Open folder, BridgeMind. Okay, cool. All right. There are a lot of updates going in. Let's go here. Still invalid token on this page. This one's working on it, this agent. So we'll be done here soon. How much do I pay for Claude Code? I spend $200 a month. Okay, so let's launch another agent. I need there to be tooltips on the icons in the top header. So for example, on hover, there needs to be tooltips to make sure that there is user feedback on what that icon is for. I definitely like the standing desk. It's not just it. Like everything that I do, there's nothing that I do that's just for the stream. Like I do the push-ups. I would be doing the push-ups whether I was streaming or not. I would have a standing desk whether I was streaming or not. I would be vibe coding whether I was streaming or not. I think that the further and further that you get from you know, doing things that aren't necessarily you. Now, you know, wearing sunglasses, I think that's kind of a persona that I put on for the stream just as a joke. But, you know, a lot of stuff that I do, it's like, hey, at the end of the day, if you're able to be standing, if you're able to be healthy, if you're able to do push-ups while you're working, like a lot of people, they'll be like, are you on, you know, they'll say all sorts of stuff like, are you on Adderall? Are you on like cocaine? They'll make all these accusations. And it's like, hey, the reason that I'm able to keep such high energy is because I'm literally doing push-ups while I'm streaming. I love what I do. I'm enjoying it. It gives me tremendous amounts of energy. And everything that I do is authentic to who I am as a person. So that's just like kind of a random rant, but yeah, that's just like so you guys understand kind of my philosophy on stuff. Do I know how to code personally? I mean, yeah, so I started coding every day 3 years ago, and I learned on Codecademy, and I obviously started coding manually, like coding. And the thing is that I just saw that, hey, what's gonna end up happening is agentic coding is gonna completely take over. And that's what my hypothesis was. I said, even when we were on, you know, ChatGPT 3.5, I said AI is going to be the future of software development, and I decided to go all in on software development with AI. And people may disagree with that, but that's what I saw 3 years ago, and I think that you know, it still remains the same today. The tools are going to get better, the underlying models are going to get better. Things are going to get so much better from where they're at now. I think that software development just looks different right now than it used to. I think that people need to adjust to that. People are a little bit behind. You know, there's no, like, people look at vibe coding or agentic coding with like a negative connotation. I don't think that there should be one. That's how you end up getting left behind on stuff. Just because there is a skill, there's a workflow to agentic coding that people need to understand. If you don't know how to use it, I would definitely start to brush up on, you know, how to do it, what it's all about, and you know, it's an extension of the developer. So when people ask, hey, do you know how to code? Well, I'm able to build products, am I not? And I'm able to deploy AWS infrastructure and all these different things. I think something that I would just ask and say is like, hey, is somebody that doesn't have any idea what they're doing, are they able to actually accomplish what we've accomplished during this journey? No, they're not. So, you know, that's just one thing that I'll say for everybody out there that, you know, wonders that, is it's like, hey, coding just looks a little bit different than it used to. You no longer have to manually be writing while loops. You can work agentically and do all that. And I think that that's something that people miss out on a little bit, is they're like, do you know how to code? Well, yes, I know how to code, but why would I be coding manually when I can code agentically? There's, you know... Yeah, thank you, Imperium. I think that we're about to hit 2,800 members in the Discord. Let me check real quick. Yeah, we're only 3 members away from hitting 2,800 members. Big shout out to our recently joined members, H. Riss, Anthony, Zahid. Welcome to the community, guys. Yeah, 100%. You need to understand the code. Crazy Gamer, my name's Matthew. I'm making money with ViewCreator.ai. That's the product that we've been building to date. Right now, we're working on an agentic coding tool so that we can improve our workflow and create something that we can use when vibe coding, so I don't have to spend so much money on all these tools. But I'm really excited about this. The BridgeMind IDE is going to be fire, but we're going to be working on that for a little bit. Let's fix these errors here. Is this one still working? Okay, so we have 2 agents working for us right now. Also, we're at 567 likes, so I'm 37 pushes away from you guys. Let me catch up real quick. All right, quick 20. telling you guys, I'm closing the gap. Okay, NPM. I don't know when we started getting this circuit breaker error. It's kind of annoying, but it's all right. Open Electron. Yes. Open this workspace. Okay. So annoying. We're like actively updating things about this, so how to start Claude with bypass permissions. There's a command for it. If somebody has it, handy in chat. But also you can set it so that it automatically does that. That's what I have. I just have it set so that I never have to even enter that. You can set it so it doesn't default to that, yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's move the desk down. Also, if you guys are watching, have not already liked, subscribe, join the Discord, make sure you do so. This is the fastest growing vibe coding community on the internet right now, and there's a reason for that. All right, let's see here. This looks good. This one. The circuit breaker was fixed. This issue is still not fixed though. I mean, we can try that. We can try it with OpenCode again. So for those of you that missed it, so we do have OpenCode Cerebrus. This apparently is going at 1,000 tokens a second. So I want to look at why in BridgeMind Electron is that not Electron. So BridgeMind Electron, BridgeMind API. But the issue that we have is that in OpenCode, this goes at 1,000 tokens per second, and there's rate limiting both at the Cerebrus level and at the OpenCode level. So I think that there's just an issue there. But this model, it does go at 1,000 tokens per second, and it's a fairly intelligent model. I mean, we can go to LM Arena and you can see where it stacks up, but it's very, very good for sure. Let's just open this up. Why am I still getting this invalid token issue? Okay. Hold on. See, oh man, that's so annoying. Oh, good. All right, BridgeMind API, BridgeMind Electron. Oh my gosh, it's so annoying. All right, so apparently you cannot do return enter. It just will kill it. Okay, Imperium, I'll check it out after stream. Thank you. All right, BridgeMind API, BridgeMind Electron. I need you to review the Electron application, specifically the task board page, and note that I'm getting an invalid token at the bottom here. This is the error that I'm getting, and I don't know why exactly I'm getting it. So I need you to review the code and pinpoint exactly why it's saying invalid token, and then update the code accordingly to fix it so that it is working. All right. All right, cool. So it does go fast. I mean, you can see how fast this is. It's 1,000 tokens per second, but the question is, are we going to get rate limited? So we've used 55,000 tokens, 44% used, and here it is. The tokens per minute limit exceeded. Too many tokens processed, retrying in 54 seconds. So now we have to wait for 54 seconds. So it's like, I think that it may just be better for us to be using like Claude Code with this, just because, I mean, yeah, this is not good. To get rate limited immediately like that after 57,000 tokens, and then to have to, you know, that's just not, you know, that's not what you want. So the tech stack. So we're using Next, Nest, Postgres, all in AWS, UltraThink, and then, you know, GLM 4.7. A drawback of it is, hey, you can't use, you know, you can't drop in screenshots or images. So that's another issue that you're dealing with when using GLM 4.7. So definitely a note. We were trying Cerebrus because apparently they had 1,000 tokens per second, which it is the case, but the rate limiting is absolutely absurd on it. So it basically, like, you end up averaging out because you have to wait a minute for the rate limiting to subside, and then, you know, you're back to where you're at, right? So just a thought. All right, 584 likes, 550 push-ups done so far, so I'm only 34 away from you guys. I'm gonna bust out a couple here. Let's go. All right, 20, let's go. All right, 570. Let's get to 600 likes, guys. Okay. I don't really want to use that. I don't want to buy it from there. Crazy gamer. What is that interface? Is that like VS Code terminal or something like that? No, this is the BridgeMind IDE. So this is what we're developing right now. This is BridgeMind. I am not a fan of the styling in the tooltips. The styling is not on theme. It also is not adjusted to the theme that is selected by the user. Update it to be more modern for the tooltips when the user is hovering over icons. All right, guys, we're 8 likes away from 600 likes. Let's get there. Let's go. Appreciate you guys. 570 on the push-up, so I'm going to catch up to you guys real quick while these two agents are working for me. Hold on. Let's bust out. I'm going to hit 24 and catch up to you guys. Let's go. Go. All right, I've officially caught up to you guys. 594. Let's go. Well, now it's 597, but let's get to 600, guys. Let's go. All right, these two agents are working. BridgeMind, just an issue that we're having is an invalid token. We'll fix that very easily here. All right. All right, let's see here. Sensei said, you said GLM 4.7 is not that good. Is it good now, backend or just design? I just don't think it's that great of a model. You know, hey, when you're on the frontier, if you have the option to be able to use Opus 4.5 and have the limits. Also, we're only 1 like away from 600, guys. Let's get there. But like, why would I use GLM 4.7 when I have the capability to use Opus 4.5? There's just no reason for me to even consider using GLM 4.7 as like my main model. Like, I'm using it, I'm hitting rate limits. It's not, I can't take in images. There's all these things, in my opinion, that I see that are wrong with it. Okay, taskboard, this looks pretty good. So taskboard, terminal, add in a new icon that will allow the user to toggle the file sidebar. Come up with a good name for it. Okay. All right, guys, we're at 603. Let's go. All right, so these two agents are working. Minimax M 2.1. I'll probably do a video vibe coding with it. I've used it a little bit, but not enough to be able to give my opinion on it or my thoughts on it. Why not using anti-gravity? I mean, I just think that Opus 4.5, I mean, it literally is better, so I'm not sure exactly why I would be using anti-gravity when this is superior. Yeah, they'll make a vision variant for sure. Yeah, Crazy Gamer that's pretty accurate. He said Claude with sub-agents and skills beats out any coding tool or IDE out there. It's just that the UI is generated. Sometimes it's not that good. You need to make a GUI plan for it to follow always. Yep, that's accurate. Okay. Let's pull it up. Explorer. No, I don't know how. I don't really like that too much, but it's alright. Why is this invalid token error so persistent? I've identified the root cause. Let me verify the data structure issue in the auth service. Okay. It says that it understands what our issue is with that invalid token. The best sub-agent setup for Cloud Code? I mean, I can make a video about that. What do you mean by sub-agent setup? Okay. Yeah, anti-gravity isn't great, in my opinion. Backstory said that Codex is really growing on him. GPT 5.2 on high is really smart. Not the best for front end, but it does great one-shotting. It does. It takes a little bit too long for me. I do remember, though, with Codex, you know, it does have a larger window than Opus. That's, you know, one thing to remember. But it will take longer. It's much slower. Okay. I would like for the invalid token issue to be done. Is this one now done? Let's see. Still working. So this is supposed to be the fix coming in here. We'll see though. Alright, we're up to 617 push-ups. Okay. Apparently there's another critical bug. It is possible to vibe code video games, yes. Alright, we're up to 617 likes. I'm at 594 push-ups, so I'm gonna have to bust out another 23. Alright. Invalid token. This one's been persistent. I don't like it, but... Okay, off flow already in progress. I hate that. Let's launch Codex. review the screenshot. Sometimes in that welcome page, it says auth flow already in progress. Would you pinpoint what is causing this and update it so that this doesn't happen? It doesn't matter if the auth flow is already in progress. That error should not happen. Come up with a more user-friendly approach to this. All right, guys, I'm gonna bust out another. I got 23 push-ups left. 23 push-ups left. Let's go. Let's bust them out. All right, let's go. We're up to 617. Crazy. Let's go, guys. Okay, so it is 1:45. I have a meeting at 2 p.m. that I'm gonna have to jump on. So I'm gonna have to end the stream here for today. Just to kind of recap. So we're working on this BridgeMind IDE. We made a ton of progress. Today, we just need to figure out some of the auth errors. I'll probably have these done off stream. I may be live later this evening for a vibe coding no talking. I know that I'm going to be working. I may stream, I may not, just depends on how I'm feeling. But also, I am going to be reviewing AMP. So you guys can expect an AMP video tomorrow. I'm going to be vibe coding with AMP just to try it out. A lot of people have been talking about it. So with that being said, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'll be back soon. Make sure you guys join the Discord if you have not already. Make sure you like, subscribe, join the Discord, and I will see you guys in the future. Let's go.